Well, good afternoon and welcome. Round 5 quaffle action. Lemke Road playing host to the match of the day. We're looking at Sandgate. I'll tell you what, 0-2 start the year, sitting 8th up against the Western Magpies, 1-3 sitting at 6th. We've got a cracking afternoon of quaffle action. Joined in the commentary box, Riley Starray. How are you seeing these two teams?
Good afternoon, Nico. Well, I tell you what, I think this is going to be a pretty interesting game. This was probably the corresponding fixture last year, the darkest day of Sandgate's 2018 season. They lost by in excess of 140 points, actually 120 points, sorry. And I tell you what, I think they're a much improved outfit this year. They were pretty competitive round 1 against Palm Beach, and to be honest, last week they probably should have beaten Wollston Grange just due to some skill errors. It didn't quite go their way, but I'm expecting a very competitive afternoon.
Now, we've had inconsistent start of the season, 2 byes and those 2 losses. You saw them last week. What did you like about them last week?
I think they moved the ball pretty quickly when they get it on the outside. They certainly did have a ruck dominance at times with, of course, Luke Bradford and Dominic Payno running through there. So they could potentially have that to their advantage this afternoon. Of course, we know the Magpies are a very strong on-ball unit, but I think their main concern is where are they going to get their goals from? I mean, this is no disrespect whatsoever. Lachlan Harrop, who has been sensational to start the year, he's kicked 6 goals in 2 games, but he is this afternoon one of the outs and he is playing for the Brisbane Lions under 16, so it is a very young lineup, and we're going to have to see how this Sandgate unit gel with, of course, their main target last week in Nellis. He's also out for Aspley this afternoon. Yeah,
Hutchinson also going up to Aspley, hurt by that. Let's have a look at the Magpies now. As we said, sitting 6th, 1-3. A loss this afternoon sends them into their bye 1-4, so they'll be looking to avoid a potential early season disaster. Goodall, Lumber and Doug Lawrence coming to the side, going out Lewis, Murray and Vine. As I said, it's been a tough season for them so far. It would have been dirty on that 4-point loss last week to Broadbeach. So they're going to come out firing today. We've only seen 1 game so far this season from Clay Beams, a big signing over the summer. He can have an absolute day out this afternoon, big wide open spaces, but they've got to get their ball movement right, Riley.
They certainly do. I think they would be probably the most disappointing team so far in the quaffle this year. Big expectations coming in on them. Of course, they have a bit of a superstar top 6 trio. And of course, they did pick up Clay Beams. Of course, Ryan Harwood, I talked to him earlier in the day. He's 4 to 6 away still, so they're not going to have him for a while. But there was a lot of expectations going into the year for them. Last year was such a disappointing loss in that final game against Surfers Paradise, and they identified the poor start to the year last year as the main thing they need to improve, and to be honest, it has happened again, so they've dug themselves a hole. I don't know how much we're going to find out about them today. It will be interesting. I do expect them to win, but if they lose, it could potentially be an absolute disaster.
Well, we're in for a massive afternoon. Now, don't forget this round here, round 5, community umpire round, where we say a big thank you to all the efforts and the time spent by the men and women in green. And officiating today's match, we have in the number 9 who will take the ball up, Mitchell Blashak, also number 6, Jake Webb, and we're in the number 13, Jackson Burney. So a big thank you to all the men and women who don the green and officiate our great game and really, truly make it what it is. We're about to get underway here at Lemke Road. Round 5, quaffle action. Riley Starray, take the first bounce.
So we're just about set. Pretty good crowd in this afternoon on our end. 2 sides in probably 2 different junctures of their development. The Magpies, as we mentioned, have massive expectations, whilst for Sandgate it is a year about development and improvement. Sandgate will be going to the right of screen. They'll be heading towards the hill area as we're about to get underway. Bradford, who was so good in the ruck last week, will go up there, and instead it's one down by Dwyer. Bradford, though, gets the first clearance of the afternoon. Will send it towards the full forward line. Trying to get there first is Payno. McKenzie, who was the late inclusion. He beats one. He sets it on its way. And in 15 seconds, the Hawks have got the first. Dream start for Sandgate. Awful start for the Magpies. We have barely begun this one at all, and it's already 1 straight 6 to Western Magpies, yet to touch the ball.
Oh, what a confident start for the Hawks there. You saw Bradford just take it out of the ruck. Big confidence boost for him early, getting in, teaming up with the big man Payno down there. And how was the composure on the snap? Just beat the man, got back onto that right foot, brought it around. Wow, Sandgate, that's the absolute start that they were hoping for. The tails are up. Let's see how this keeps going.
So you're just waiting for the ball to come back into play. Sandgate, they certainly look up and about. Of course, they kicked the first 2 goals last Wednesday night before they really had a poor 50-minute patch. It was almost a full 50, 55 minutes between scores. So they want to maintain momentum. They have shown they have gotten off to good starts so far in season 2019. I'm just having a look at a couple of matchups here, Nick, and as you can see, of course, one of the rising stars from last year, Jack Austin, he is matched up against Loki Haynes, who is very recognisable with that red-headed mullet.
Absolutely. Well, Bradford gets the tap down again, gets his own ball one more time, spins it out towards the wing, but it's all Magpies out there. Winton gets his hands on the footy, about to be run down. Wobbly little kick out to the wing. That flying mullet you talked about is wrapped up early, and the umpire has called a free kick, holding the man. Well, Loki Haynes gets the hands off quickly. Kick down the line, smothered nicely. Oh, the kick from Batchelor. Just smacking the man on the mark, and we're going to have a ball in right here in front of the commentary position on centre wing.
Now, just for reference, Nick, we were talking about this before the game. It is perfect conditions for football. It's about 22, 23 degrees, not much breeze to speak of. There's the potential of rain, but at the moment it doesn't look like that will happen. As Bradford wins it from the back, this is already proving decisive. Getting it away is Barber towards the middle of the ground. Big 2-on-2 coming up. Beautiful tackle was slipped from Edwards. He did well to slip it. It was well done, and he gets it off to Gallagher, who's about 75 metres out. He wheels onto that left, sends it towards Austin against Haynes. Fourth fly, no one takes the mark at the bottom of the pack. A lot of numbers surrounding this one. Highlands, who is back in this week, is looming ominously. Crawford kick is smothered. Trying to get in is Winton, who's been one of the more consistent performers this year. Reed tries to run on to it for the Magpies, but Sandgate have the numbers. They'll be content to see a stoppage. They still keep it in. Fabian wins away a hand pass. Winton. Hand pass was indiscriminate but finds Austin. Brilliant tackle laid from Bloss, but it was still gotten away. Well done. Now it's just kicked out of there from Loki Haynes to a 2-on-1. It should be a mark to Dwyer. He couldn't quite take it. Now on the wing. Here goes Taglieri. He has got some leg speed. He burns off the big man. He takes a second bounce. He fumbles the ball. It goes over his feet. He almost keeps it in the field of play. He's gained about 55 metres there, I reckon.
Hasn't he? Yeah.
And it's going to be a throw in at half forward here for the Hawks.
Yeah, we took a good look at Taglieri last year. He's got absolute wheels, this kid, and an extra pre-season into him. He's looking dangerous. I'll tell you what, the inclusion of Casey Barber too just brings that little bit extra spark there for the Hawks. This is looking dangerous already as Bradbury gets a two-handed tap back. Wrapped up in the tackle there. Coming in third man is Crawford for the Magpies. We're going to have a ball up 50 metres out. Hawks, and well, again, good start. As we mentioned, light little breeze pushing down towards the right-hand side of the screen. Perfect conditions for footy otherwise, as a wobbly little kick is taken away. And the little one-arm mark taken there by Lonergan. Don't mind that at all. Looks for the option, just a little quick 45 down the line. Finds a man in Reed. Reed looks back in balls and a diving stretch mark taken back by Lonergan. Getting the stats up early, looks back inboard, finds Mitchell. Mitchell wastes no time, rolls around on the right, and pressing up all the way nearly to the centre of the ground is Highlands, who wastes no time as well. Pushes down to the top of the 50, ball scraggling around there. Three Magpies just wrap him up in a tackle, going nowhere. Good defensive pressure, and now we're going to have a ball up. I'd say about 65 metres out from the Magpies goal, Riley.
So back at the contest, Rux will contest. Bradford wins it decisively, but wasn't necessarily a tap to advantage. Fletcher couldn't quite feed the hand pass away. Harding kicks it out in the full. Now, one factor this afternoon that we haven't touched on, we don't broadcast too often from Lemke Road, is this is by far the biggest oval in the Quaffle. I reckon it's almost as long as Subiaco was back in the day, so that's going to be an interesting thing for both teams to do.
Yeah, big, wide open spaces. Very picturesque ground to play at too, and one of the best social clubs going around, I'd have to say. But if the Hawks can use this advantage themselves and really move that footy out wide, get the hands in the ball of players like Barber and Taglieri, then well, they might just do a number here on the Magpies, and they're switching it wide now as they go right across the face of goal. Risky kick. Oh, I'll tell you what, he's got to work hard here. Maynard is put under the pump by his teammate. And the Magpies, well, they get around Lonergan, working hard, getting his touches up early. Great forward pressure there from the Magpies. We're going to have a ball in 25 metres out from the Pies goal.
Macaulay Lonergan, he's been one of the more consistent performers this year for the Magpies. He was one of the few that could hold their heads high after that loss to Wilston Grange on Good Friday. So back in the field of play in the Hawks defensive 50. Bradford, he's already proving a menace. His tap went though to Winton. He picks it up once again. Now it's kicked out from Mitchell towards the square, and that's almost a mark. So Highlands couldn't quite take it, and it'll be cleared away from Patching towards half-back. Now McKenzie, he does lay the shepherd well. He allows his teammate in. It's a good kick up the line. Payno will try to take it, couldn't quite. 2-on-2 contest. It's gone off a boot. It's just in the field of play. And we'll have a stoppage right in front of us.
Well,
We start to see some dark clouds coming in from the right end of the ground.
yeah, well, the Bureau's telling us 90% chance, and thankfully got the washing in early, but I don't know, just doesn't feel like it quite yet. But I'll tell you what, I like the way Sandgate are moving the footy. Yes, nearly resulted in a turnover down the defensive end, but as I said, they're trying to stretch it out around the ground, and they can break this game open. They're already looking good with their hands as Barber just back in the side and straight back in the footy. Bradford just rolls his way through the contest. They've got to work hard here, the Magpies. Bit of a chaos ball, goes up and down and wrapped in the tackle. He's appealing. Well, he's going to get it. I do love the way he appealed to no one for holding the ball. Didn't actually know where the umpire was. Regardless, free kick going the way of Luca Winton. It's not enough effort there from Jordan Harding to get it out, and well, he's asking for the man to come up towards him. He's got to punch it down the line now. Big Loki flies, but nearly picked off from the back. Bradford, he's doing the roving now. Little kick away, rolling to the side was Reed. Well, he's opened it up a little bit into space there. Mitchell gets the hands on the footy. Ball through to the hands of Janky Kane. He can be dangerous, rolls on the left foot. And not taken. Not taken at all. And a chance for the Hawks to escape through Crawley. And they're out and away here. He's going to touch it on the ground. Nice little left foot chip. Ball brought out. They're not out of danger just yet. The Magpies can reload. Pressure's on them right now. Just manages to keep the footy inside the field of play, but the Hawks with composure, and they can look back inside and they could be out and away. They've got a man. They've got a man wide open on the wing. If they just see the switch, don't look for it. Pushing long down the line now in the Payno direction. Harry Marshall getting back there. On the right foot, he's dribbling. It's rolling. It's rolling. And how about that? Dominic Payno, the big man, dribbles it through for the Hawks, second of the afternoon.
So Sandgate, they haven't had it up their end too much early. They're 2 goals to the good. It's looking similar to the first 10 minutes of their last game against Wilston Grange. The Magpies need to get an answer on the board. And pretty quickly, I reckon, Nico, just to get some confidence, just to get a steadier. They have had it up their end a lot, but they haven't converted.
No, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I love the way they rebounded off the half back line there. They've tested out a few options to switch it. I'll tell you what, just running off the bench there, Jake O'Halloran had an absolute paddock, but they were so confident in their ball movement. They went straight up the guts, backed the big man Payno to take his man Harry Marshall, turned him inside out, and I'll tell you what, class finish from the big man. As he's about to come back, and well, they've got to do something now, the Magpies.
So there's a whistle. And it looks like it's going to be a free kick. And it is going to go the way of the Magpies. I believe potentially for a warning for the 666. So Dwyer, he'll send it towards half forward. Lonigan's pushed under the football. That was very well done from Sandgate to force the contest, and it's kicked away there. And now it'll go to Bradford. Now he gets a hand pass away to Harding towards half forward. They are looking really on this afternoon. Fabian, 75 metres out. He'll try to find Payno. He's looking dangerous early. That's another big tackle laid. Now it goes to Saunders. Hand pass over the top, misses the target in Edwards. Now he gets his own football. He'll go back with the hands and send it up the line, and he'll go to Mitchell, who is on pretty much the true wing and looks to go inboard. Now they've got options. Janky Kane. There are 2 Magpies runners on the broadcast wing if they go to him enough. And it's sent away from Lawrence towards half forward. Austin, the target, goes over his head. Sandgate had the numbers caught. He was a little bit fumbly there twice. Gets it eventually. Hogan cleared away just from Fry. O'Halloran couldn't quite pick up the loose football. Well done there, though, from Harding. And he's found a target. It's a tough mark, but it's been very well taken there from Patching. And he's about 85 metres out from goal.
Well, Patching down the line, the direction of the big man, and just over the line. We're going to have a throw in about 45 metres out from the Hawks' goal. Hey, look, it's really tough to tell at this point. I can't quite work out if the Magpies are rattled or we are just seeing an absolute blinding start from the Hawks. A little bit of both, because I don't mind the way they're moving the ball through the back line, but they're just breaking down the Magpies as they get it past the halfway mark. I'll tell you what, the pressure is immense from the Sandgate team as it's tapped down there. Payno doing the ruck work. And they're just keeping that forward pressure going. The numbers around the contest are phenomenal, and this might be their chance now, the Magpies. Getting it down the line, but it's all Hawks. It's all Hawks. And it's just taken casually on the chest by Mitch Crawley. Can go back if he wants, but no, wants to keep the pressure on. Kicks down the line. This is good ball movement. and through to the back of the pack again. That's what we're seeing a fair bit of. They've got numbers as soon as the footy hits the deck, the Hawks.
One thing I am noticing about the Hawks game, they are being very penetrating, but their leg speed at the moment is proving a little bit of a concern when they do get it on the outside for this Magpies outfit. We saw that as well at times against Wilston Grange, but their skill level early looks considerably better. 9-day break might have done them good as a free kick to Payno. He's about 75 metres out from goal, so he's just going to have to set it up to a contest. It's a 2-on-1 in favour of the Magpies. It goes over the back. Fabian couldn't quite take it. It'll be a throw in right on the point post, and the Hawks forward 50.
Well, you talk about that speed, Riley, and Coach Bryden Morgan from Western Magpies was very aware of that through the week. He knew to expect this, but the team hasn't quite risen to it so far. And another dangerous position as the ball comes in. Payno's going to do the ruck work again. The big man, he's dangerous in this situation. Gets the hands down. Little left foot snap. It's going to go the distance, but not quite the accuracy. What's going to happen here? Fabian can't quite pick it up on the bounce, but diving pressure. We've got to watch if he drags this one in here. Sandgate players are appealing for it. Play on call by the umpire. Kick just gets out, clears the 50. The Magpies have to be good hicks. They're not out of danger. Now the wheels start turning. Gets the kick away. High speculator up in the air. Nearly goes backwards this one. But it's all Hawks at the ground level. They could be out and away again. Hands off to Taglieri. Round the kick. He's got a man. Finds him on the chest. No. Ball spills through. They can collect again. As we said, they're running in numbers. It's Batchelor. Batchelor just settles the kick. Punches it long to the goal square. And the fist comes through in the end there from Liam Dwyer, and we're going to have another boundary throw in 5 metres out from the Sandgate goal.
One thing I am noticing, it looks like a bit of a tactical difference to 9 days ago as well. This Sandgate defensive line, they're setting up a wall about 70 metres out from their attacking goal. They're going to try and trap this Magpies.
Absolutely.
A couple 9 days ago, they played a lot more linear, a bit more length. It's cleared away there. And Janky Kane goes over the head of everyone. And it's a good tackle on Edwards. He just got it away, going in hard to Reed. He's dispossessed. The Hawks are menacing at the moment. I think they've got a bit of a point to prove this afternoon.
Yeah, 2, as you said, menacing tackles right there. I think that 9-day break is really, especially with a team like Sandgate, who's going to rely on their run, those extra few days rest really just recharge the batteries. And or Bradford, he's been big already and just roving his way through the pack. I don't mind that at all. It was Cash and Harris. And footy delivers it nicely on the chest of Patching, who might be too far out to score. He wanted to get it down to O'Halloran, but he's going to go back and take his kick. Well, Patching, a big in this week. He's going to have to go the journey here. He's probably going to have to kick from just inside 50. Hang over that right boot. That right boot, pardon me. Patching, he gets under it. It's looking good. It's looking very good. Joshua Patching. A third for the afternoon for Sandgate. And they're kicking straight as well. 3 goals, 0-18. And the Magpies yet to score.
Well, this is incredibly concerning here for this Magpies outfit. It's looking eerily similar to what it was on Good Friday. They have started with, to be honest, a bit of a lack of intensity after the first 5 minutes. And Shatner, Cash and Harris, I thought was pretty good 9 days ago with his run and penetration. His disposal does need a little bit of work. Of course, he's an academy member for the Brisbane Lions. And if he can get the ball, he's got so much leg speed and just use it and settle himself down a little bit. We can see penetrating kicks like that. It results in goal number 3. So if you've just joined us, Sandgate have got the jump. They lead by 3 straight kicks. It's back in the middle. Austin, who's forced to go in the ruck, wins it down the beams to Crawford. Not the greatest of kicks, but it might work out okay. Winton couldn't quite get there first. That's well done from Barber. He's got some leg speed, the young lad. He'll send it about 50 metres down the line. And it's going to run out of play.
Excellent touch finder there from Casey Barber. Cannot state enough how big an inclusion he is into the Sandgate side. When he teams up with players like Taglieri, like Cash and Harris, the speed is incredible, and that right there, that was a 55-metre touch finder, and now puts the Magpies back under the pump again. He backed himself in that contest. They had 2 big blokes bearing down on him, and he took them on, and he won. So, ball comes back in, 50 metres out from the Hawks goal. Bradford gets the tap down, and they're out over the back again here. Just got to be clean with the hands. Spills through. Magpies can settle here. Little kick out of danger, and that's well taken. Well taken there. That's Luke Mitchell, and he wants to get that away. Looks down in the direction of Highlands. Ball spills over the back, got a 2-on-2, and it's going to roll over the line in front of Lemke Road Social Club. And we're going to have a ball in. Sandgate, 3 goals straight, 18. The Magpies yet to score in this first quarter. There's the storm clouds we talked about earlier. Well, out to the far right-hand side of the screen. As we said, perfect conditions here for footy at Community Umpire round 5 of the Quaffle. And they're off again here, the Hawks. They just keep getting it over the back. It is incredible. Dancing out of trouble there now is Edwards. He's got a bit of work to do, but he backs himself in. Nicely done. Pushes along to the half-forward line. A bit of foot race going here. Highlands has got to get there first. But he doesn't. And we're going to have a boundary throw in 60, 75 metres out from the Magpies' goal. Riley.
So it's a crucial juncture here as we tick over halfway through this opening term. The Magpies really just need to get a goal on the board to settle themselves down and try work their way into the game. Lonergan forced his opponent off it. Fletcher got it back to Crawford. Will send it in towards the forward 50. Goodall tries to come out and effect the spoil. That's a free kick. It's going the way of Crawley. He'll take it pretty quickly and he'll get it over to Harding. Now he potentially was looking to go, but instead decided to hold it up. Fabian pushed on the hard lead but didn't go there. Instead he goes further up the line looking for Bradford. It's off hands and it's out of play.
Observation I'd like to make here, Riley, and we've got the best view in the house here in the commentary box here at Lemke Road. You can tell a lot about a side, about how they line up for the interchange bench. And as we see, we've got 4 Hawks just sitting here beneath us, just ready to get back on the field. They are keen to get out there. They smell something already.
So back at the contest, feeding a handballs away, Fletcher. Crawford from the pack. He'll send it to about 50 out. Well done from Crawley. It just carried into the forward 50, but one thing this Magpies lineup is not doing well at the moment. Their forward 50 entries aren't very deep at all. They're rather shallow, not all that threatening. As the kick will go towards Bradford. The tall man couldn't quite take the mark. He's got numbers at the bottom though. A lot of Hawks surrounding it. Bradford falls over his own legs. He's trying to pick it up and we'll have another stoppage in the field of play. But tell you what, Sandgate, they certainly look on this afternoon. This is a much improved outfit from 9 days ago in terms of not necessarily application, but skill level and ruthlessness. Crawley has been one of the best on ground so far this afternoon. Couldn't quite take the mark, but forced the contest. Court's almost taken in the back, but not quite. And there'll be another stoppage inside the forward 50. And this is a critical difference I'm noticing at the moment. I was talking about length in terms of how defensively they set up. The Sandgate are trying to keep their forward back. As Reed will snap it towards goal and it will go out of the field of play. But the Magpies, they're pretty content to not necessarily try create a wall, try to give a bit of space to their playmakers.
Yeah, we're not quite seeing the same sort of pressure that Sandgate are putting on, but right now they are just desperate for a drought breaker. They've had the footy down in their forward 50 for enough, and hang on, we've got a whistle here from the umpire. Just settling it down a little bit, so around the ruckman. Bradford, massive, he gets that tap away, pushes out wide there for the Hawks, and that is a good tackle. That is a strong tackle and just ragdolls him over the line and holding the ball. Well, that's pressure from the defence. That is excellent pressure. Tell you what, they're going to try and keep a clean sheet here, the Hawks, and just brings him a little bit further around. Don't you try and come in, young man. Just going to bomb it down the line here, it looks like. Takes a man on, gets around him. 60-metre kick, nearly to centre wing. Ball spills over the back again, and this is all part of the game plan. He manages to get a hold of it, and they're off to the races now. Hands over the top. It's all Sandgate, just got to settle. Runs it in, and bang! It's another one for the Hawks. And it's that man patching again, and I'll tell you what, we've talked about it all quarter, and the way that Sandgate are getting the footy over the back, surely the Maggies have got to start putting a little man just somewhere to arrest this run, because they have got speed and they know they can clear the contest, get it away. They've got the wheels to get it over. And they were just caught on the hop there, the Magpies.
They certainly were, and this is getting almost disastrous at the moment. I reckon Bryden Morgan, he would have put it on his troops during the week to come out and make a statement and show they can be more than competitive in this competition. They have finals aspirations, as we have mentioned, but at the moment they look anything but, quite frankly. The disposal efficiency early has been quite poor. Their pressure has not been up to Sandgate's level, and they're getting exposed for pace. This is getting into very dangerous territory, especially with the dark clouds that are coming to loom.
Well, we can look at those clouds two ways, because just to the right of screen we have one of our classic Queensland storms brewing. out over the city end. So if it's too much of a lead, they may not peg it back in wet conditions. But at the same time, it might just slow the run of the Hawks. As Crawford, well, he's been good so far. He's been a standout for the Magpies. Pressure's on there from Cash and Harris. He was barreling down. Another touch there for Crawford. As I said, now they've got to get it away. This is their chance through Mitchell. Well, he's put the pressure on that man, Janky Kane, and a good strong mark running back for the fly of the ball. Just rolls around to the right, wants to get this ball going. Kicks to a 2-on-2. A big fly, but can't pull it down. Magpies take possession again, front and centre of the contest. Wrapped up there. A strong tackle there from Harding. And we're going to have a ball up smack bang on the 50-metre. I'll tell you what, he climbed high there, but the wind's starting to pick up. And the wind's actually swung around now. It's heading down to the left side of the screen. Bradford gets a tap away, picked up straight away there by Austin, but he is not going anywhere. We're going to have another ball up.
Tell you what, we might need the lights on here, Nico.
Oh, we might, yes.
Considerably darker.
Don't know how you're going on your screens at home.
So Bradford wins it decisively. Edwards couldn't quite get it off the grass. Crawford, he's been busy early, the veteran. Hand pass goes straight to Cash and Harris. He'll head down the line about 30 metres. Payno couldn't quite take the mark. Well done from Marshall. Patching. That just lands in the field of play, and we'll have a ball up right in front of the Sandgate coaching box. And I think Coach Jared Marsh, he will be thrilled early with how they've applied themselves. They have dominated this opening term. Not necessarily in the territory battle, but they've had a lot more composure with the football.
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you what, it's just getting darker and darker out there. That storm is coming. The birds are out of the trees. The wind has really picked up and it's swinging down the left-hand side of the screen. Even we're struggling to see here, but this might be the opportunity for the Magpies. Little soccer. Not good enough, and Kyle Reid sees it over the line. 4 goals straight, the Hawks here at Lemke Road, round 5 on International Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And well, may the 4th be with the Magpies right about now, because they are still yet to score as Bradford just now bodies his man there on the ruck. Nice little dribbling kick. Getting the hands of the footy first here, but the way that Sandgate is setting up outside the contest just means as soon as that footy pops out, they will always have the numbers as the first drops of rain start to fall here. People getting into their cars. The rain's coming now as Bradford flies in the ruck, but the wind picks up the other way. Ball in the hands now of Maynard. A little kick down the line. That footy got held up in the wind, and you can see it now. You can really see it now as it's starting to come down. Oh, they got the winds at their back now, the Magpies. Big fly for the pack, but strong mark in these conditions taken.
And now Sandgate, they can attack.
Yes, the
have
lights.
Numbers ahead of the football. Patching. He's about at halfway. He's going to have to send it long. The wind's really going to hold it. Not a bad kick in these conditions. Cash and Harris is looming ominously at the contest. Well, it's a little bit better coverage for us compared to Good Friday, but we're still going to get pretty wet here. Lonergan gets it away to Janky Kane. Will send it towards half forward. Tries to go over the back. Highlands tapped it on intelligently. Goodall will run onto this. He's got the leg advantage. He just needs to tap it on, but he's tapped it too far. It's out of play.
Oh, it's a shame there. They had a man there. Kyle Reid was running with him in support. Just had to get the footy across to him. Vision is really down here. As we said, classic Queensland storm. Thought we were out of storm season, but clearly not. Early May. And this as well, this has to be their chance. They need to take this, the Magpies. The wind's at their back. Ball spills to the front of the pack. Just bobbling around now. Slippery footy. It's been dry all day. That surface moisture is going to be absolutely horrendous for the players out there. We're going to have another ball in. It's going to be about 15 metres out from the Magpies' goal. Just need one. Just need to get one by quarter time. As well, we've got one set of lights on here at Lemke Road. That rain is really starting to come down now. Tapped down by Jack Goodall. Oh, the left foot tap. It's going to spill over the line and they're going to reset again. Another chance for the Magpies. We've thrown in down on the left side screen. Riley, how can the Magpies capitalise on this contest?
Well, I think they just need to get a goal from the stoppage. They just need to force something here. They've got a lot of numbers around it. Just try to push it forward. Little try to win it down that side. Still bouncing around. It's a high tackle. It's going the way of Sandgate. We're in the later stages of this opening term. Kicked away from Bloss. He'll send it towards the car park as it's gone out of play. Hard to really
they've just got
well in these conditions, Nico.
Can't do much about it. Really against them here, but I'll tell you what, a big second term will be coming up. There's, well, kick goes into the forward line. Ball spills. They manage to keep it in. Pressure's on, but Sandgate have all the numbers right about now. So we've got another contest right at the boundary line. The umpire comes around and says, I'll ball that up, thank you very much. Well, as we said, perfect conditions for footy at the start of play, but, well, that's really disappeared right about now. Tap goes down, and it's seen over the line by Connor Bloss. Well, the rain is coming in sideways here at Lemke Road. And unfortunately, due to the position of our commentary box, Riley, I think I'm protecting you right now, but I think I can speak for the players right now. It's disgusting out there. Three for a minor score.
For the Magpies, so they're finally on the board. As we tick into about 26 minutes into this first term. 4 goals straight, 24 to 1 behind. Sandgate have got the jump. And they'll look to take advantage as Court will send it out of his defensive line. Not the greatest of kicks. Here's the Magpies' chance. It's set off the left from Winton. That was really wasteful. He had more time than he thought. That's another behind. They're sent back into the field of play. The target on the bottom there will be Harding. He's tackled straight away from Austin. Austin will rake it away. He's called holding the ball. That'll be a free kick to Austin. And he'll have to, this is going to have to be a really good kick from here, Nico.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. He's got to put this one up in the wind here. He just kicks out a little bit right of the inside goal post. He's in with a chance. He's got the wind behind him. He's got the rain behind him. A couple of these droplets could probably knock it through. He's going to be kicking about 35, and, well, they need this, the Magpies. They really need this one. Austin, the left footer, and skews off the side of the boot through for a minor score. Their third of the term. It's Sandgate, 4 goals straight, 24. The Magpies, 3 behinds. And maybe that was their last chance of the quarter.
So sent back into the field of play. No mark taken from O'Halloran. Loki Haynes gets it away. That's a very intelligent slap. It's doing the patching. He will be content to just hold this up, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so. You see Loki Haynes is trying to slow the footy down, saying, calm it, young man, calm it. Ball spills to the front of the pitch.
It goes off hands from Harding, trying to get the hand pass away there. Is Green still bouncing around. Marshall couldn't do much with it. Now it's cleared away from Mitchell towards the wing position. No mark from Beans. Falls to the bottom of the pack. Bloss gets it away. Hand pass inside to Batchelor. Now to Hogan. Hand pass over the top looking for Barber. He'll step inside. Back to Hogan. Is it about 75 metres out from goal? It's a tumbling, bumbling sort of punt in towards the forward 50. One-on-one contest. Payno not astute to these conditions. Does well to force the contest. And it's out of play. Right on the forward 50 here for Sandgate.
Yeah, he had a bit of work ahead of him there, the big man Payno. Probably not the best kick into him, but I admire the way they managed to get that footy out and they're still pressing. You can see Loki Haynes earlier trying to slow the play down, saying that'll probably do us for the quarter. But they want one more. They want 5, the Hawks. They want to come out at quarter time absolutely dominating this contest. And we're going to have a throw in about 80 metres out, far side of the ground as the rain, well, she continues to fall. I think it's pretty set in. As we said, we talked before the game, 90% chance of rain, and, well, I'll tell you what, we've got it. This ball goes down to the back of the pack now, and they've got it again, the Hawks, and they've got numbers free if they can get it out of the contest. Great tackle there by the behind scorer in Austin. Just sock it through. That's how you play these conditions. Loki Haynes managed to get the tackle, it manages to turn it over, and now he's just set upon by Magpies, and he's pretty happy there to hold it up. We're going to have a ball up in the middle of the ground. Not long to go here in this first term.
So a goal either way would be much appreciated. O'Halloran not used to seeing him in the ruck, got the tap down. The clearance away for the Magpies. No mark from Highlands. Going in hard was Reid, but he was dispossessed. Jakey Kane tries to reach it away. Riley Easton, last year's rising star, taking the strong tackle, and we'll have a stoppage. Just forward to centre. The Rucks will go at it again. This time Dwyer wins it down. That's almost a free kick, potentially for a hold, but not paid to Easton. He tried to do a bit of a Cristiano Ronaldo, but
look,
wasn't quite.
I'm a big fan of the volley, especially in these conditions. The punch smacked away there by O'Halloran. The Magpies, well, maybe one last roll of the dice this term. Down in the Beams direction, just overruns the footy. It's a very slippery ball out there. Now they've managed to turn it over. Footy in the hands of Goodall. Goody, can he be clean? He can't. We're going to have a boundary throw in. 15 metres out from the Magpies goal. They've got to lock this footy in here. Really got to lock it in and keep the pressure on because Sandgate is just getting it out far too easily at this point. Nominating for the ruck. Sticking that big arm in the air, O'Halloran.
The back of the contest. Trying to win it down decisively was Goodall. Sandgate get the clearance. It comes off hands. Crawley couldn't quite get it away. A lot of numbers around this. Dwyer tried to go in hard at that previous contest. Couldn't quite get it. Janky Kane will be first there for the Magpies, but he's beaten to it by Barber, who has certainly been one of the X factors in this opening term.
Yeah, well, maybe the rain's going to slow him down a little bit. Perhaps this is what the Magpies were hoping for. Try and dissipate some of the run we've seen from Barber and Calieri. Ball goes back up in the middle and hands the footy first in the contest again from Kenzie. And an umpire's picked a free kick out of this.
It's gone to Cody Court. I'm just having a look down at Drew Mitchell. He's got the zinc on this afternoon, but that's proving to be quite useless, unfortunately, for him. It's a turnover.
No, that's all right, Drew. The sun can get you any time, I understand.
So Winton will send it long towards the forward 50. Big fly, no mark taken from Austin. Falls off hands as the rain suddenly stops. It looks like it might have been a 15-minute
Finally.
Storm. Goes out of play. We ticked over.
Yeah, so what, it's a long quarter.
31 minutes into this opening term. Quite a few stoppages early. We're sent back into the field of play. It'll be O'Halloran against Dwyer. O'Halloran wins it down to the front of the contest. Janky Kane will snap it towards the 50. Austin the target, couldn't take the mark. Very slippery ball, hard one to take in these conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this field here, where we're just geographically located, quite prone to flooding, but especially on this commentary wing, a lot of work done to the ground. So now the ground in pristine conditions, and well, I think it's holding it pretty well. So it'll just be that surface moisture, so they've got to be clean with their hands. Should just skid along the top, not too fast, I'd imagine, though, as the Magpies, again, with another chance, but they've been rock solid in defence, the Hawks, and we keep saying one more chance, one more chance. Well, I don't know how many one more chances is going to be left. As Goodall gets a tap down, a little soccer off the ground, spills through the contest, but it's all green and red. He's wrapped up in a tackle, appeals for holding the ball. The umpire says, no, thank you very much. I will have that, as umpire Jackson Burney here at Community Umpire Appreciation Round, saying a big thank you to the men and women in green who officiate this great game. And that is quarter time. And I'll tell you what a first term from the Hawks. 4 straight they kicked against the Magpies before this rain really came down. 4 straight it is to, well, Western Suburbs. They've got a little bit of work to do now. Possibly a bit of a talking to from Coach Bryden Morgan. Just the 3 behind. It has been all the Hawks' way. Riley Starray, what did you like?
I've really liked the way Sandgate have moved the ball. Their all-round game has been very good, but last week they did try to move it quickly at times, but they did it at the wrong stages, if that makes sense. And their skill levels really let them down at times last week. This afternoon they look a lot more decisive. They look a lot more in control, and their skill level is much improved. Just to quickly run you through the goal kickers, it's all Hawk. Of course, getting 2 goals there was Joshua Patching. Dominic Pano has one, and the inclusion, Kai McKenzie, he has one as well. He kicked one in the first 20 seconds of this opening term as we head towards quarter time. The Magpies have a lot of work to do here. They are down by 21 points, 4 straight 24 to 3 behind 3. We'll be back in a few minutes for the second term. So, line reads 4 straight 24 to the Western Magpies, 3 behind 3. Riley Starry, Nick Davis with you for the coverage this afternoon, and Nico, the Magpies, they started rather poorly. What have they got to do to get back into this one?
Well, they've just got to apply a lot more pressure around the contest. What we're seeing is Sandgate and playing straight to their game plan. The amount of run that the Hawks have is phenomenal, but the Magpies are doing absolutely nothing to negate that. The footy keeps getting out over the back, and I don't know if they're committing too heavily to the contest, but they've really got to keep the pressure locked in around. We saw the way the 2 teams set up in that first term. When Sandgate had the footy down their end, a strong wall was set up across the half-forward line. Magpies, a lot less inclined to actually set up something like that. And the Hawks are just getting free and away. So the pressure really has to go on in this term. And if you've just joined us, no matter where you're watching, thank you very much for joining us. It's a community umpire round where we celebrate the men and women who wear the green and officiate this game. But the ground is soaked at the moment because a classic Queensland storm just hit us. So we're about to get underway in the second term as Bradford, he's been dominant, he gets the tap away, but well, a hold has been called, and it's that man, Crawford. He's been one of the best so far for the Magpies, and He's going to get first chance with the footy in the second term. Wind against him, blowing to the left-hand side of the screen. Oh, bit of a pressure kick towards Beams. Manages to use his strength and experience to push the man away. And that's what we were hoping to see at some point, the volley. And a nice little touch finder, and it gets it down into the Magpies forward 50. And we're going to have a throw in about 30 metres out from the Maggies' goal.
That looks like a noticeable change here in this second quarter, Nick. We've seen Clay Beams. He's played a lot midfield defensively in the first month for this Magpies unit, but he started this second term up forward. Maybe they're just trying to spark something. There's Highlands from the pack. He's just gone to the left, so one behind. He, of course, is very dangerous. For the Magpies, he was very good last year. And now, without the likes of Anthony Corrie and Jake DeWinter in this Magpies lineup,
A lot of experience.
a lot of pressure is going to fall on him as it's cleared away from Bloss towards half back. It's almost the mark taken from Austin. Lays the secondary tackle on court. It's a good effort from the young man. We'll have a ball up. We're 45 metres out from the Magpies attacking goals. See if they can get their first goal of the game from this pretty much repeat entry. Bradford wins it down though. Trying to get at the bottom of the pack was Lonergan. He fed a hand pass away. It's kicked away from Saunders. Couldn't quite get it forward enough. It's in dispute. Winton goes off the boot and goes out of play. Another thing I really liked from Sandgate in that opening term was the way they pressed up really hard, but also kept a structure. Sometimes you can press up and just lose all sense of structure. You can certainly see it in their setup.
Absolutely. And we've got to do something to really change that. But right now the Hawks are just playing, especially, I feel that their ball movement really set up a way the round that Bradford is rucking. He's got a bit of a physical mismatch against his direct opponent in Dwyer, really just using the body, and you saw him just belt one out of play earlier. He is absolutely on today, and the way he's clearing the contest with a big punch is allowing the Sandgate Smalls to really get out at the back of the contest and get some free space. And on a field like this, which as you said earlier, is just so big, they use the space to the advantage. They could be very hard to stop this afternoon. That rain, well, it's all gone now, and clear skies out over the city end. I think it's going to trouble us again today. And, well, it's even slow the Hawks down as balls are wrapped up there on the half-forward line. And, well, we're going to have a throw-up courtesy of umpire Mitchell Blashak. As we said, community umpire around. Can't thank the men and women in green enough for what they do, officiating this great game of ours.
Bradford wins it decisively. Mackenzie kicked the opening goal this game, gets it away to Maynard, who sends it towards half forward, goes over the back of everyone. This is a dangerous contest. Hagen came like a bull at the gate, but just couldn't quite get it. Well done from Lawrence, fed it to Saunders. They're just feeding the hand pass back. Green, goes over the tops, and that should be a pretty simple mark to Lawrence at half back. There's not that much ahead of him in terms of movement, so he's probably going to be content to just send it up the line to the tall timber in Dwyer. It's where he tries to go. Spoil from Bradford. Reed sends it towards half forward line. Oh, that's a very strong mark from Goodall. Oh, he's about 70 metres out now. He's got an option free in the 50. Tries to find him. Couldn't quite get there to Lonergan. They got the numbers though. Ooh. Trying to get it away there was Mitchell. Edwards sends it towards goal. Sandgate have scrambled very well here. Crawley off the non-preferred right foot. Sends it to Harding. Goes away from Patching, and he'll just send it indiscriminately towards the wing. Dwyer, oh, that's a ripping tackle. Unfortunately, Sandgate don't have the numbers, so it's going to be coming back anyway. And Green finds Goodall about 55 metres out from goal.
Well, Goodall turns around on the right foot now. Numbers floating over the back. Clean with the hands, are they? They're not. Spills to the back of the pack. And they manage to clear danger again, courtesy of Bloss. And they escape again. And well, that was better play, but how about the pressure there from Sandgate? A 3-on-1, nearly managed to turn it over. The umpire says play on in the meantime. And we forced to escape, just bangs it long down the line, the Fabian direction. Well, what I keep seeing is there was no real plan as we saw that contest there as the Magpies tried to escape the half-back line. Bradford is in such good form right now, you cannot be kicking it in his direction. You've really got to try and move the ball across. You're going to kick down the line towards a big man who is just hot at the moment. You just can't do it, and well, I've just got to find other avenues, and this might be a chance here. Good arm over the top came courtesy of Loki Haynes. Flying red mullet, and a free kick's been plucked out of this, but it's going Sandgate's way. Well, it's all going Sandgate's way at the moment. Interesting what Loki Harris does with this ball here. He's going to prop back, look across the ground, option's not on, so he's going to be forced to go down long down the line. Well, no real communication there. In fact, it's gone out on the full. So the Maggies can relaunch and reload here. Going to take the man on, bomb it long with the right foot. Sets it up to the hot spot. Kick might be a bit too long. Fist flies over the top. First of the footy down there is Maynard. Can't get clean hands, overrun it. Crawford's floating around. No, dish it out again, and they're out and escape one more time. Well, this is very good from the Hawks. It's Fabian. Some of the best facial hair going around. Just keeps the pressure on, but they've pulled a free kick out of there, and it's going to go the Maggies' way. This is their chance.
So, about 75 metres out from goal. It goes towards the forward line. A lot of targets. Highlands couldn't quite take it off the hands. Beams tries to pick it up. He's dispossessed. It's just a stoppage. Bit of a ruck and more, and we'll have a ball up. I think the Sandgate bench appreciated that call there, Nico.
Oh, mate, you just got to admire what you see. Real recognise real.
Exactly right.
That's coming from someone who cannot grow anything. And a big smack goes Bradford. I'll tell you what, I think he's been watching the NBA playoffs. As the Maggies, well, they try one more time, but the defensive pressure from the Hawks is phenomenal. And that man Bradford just puts the body in there, might be in the back, play on, says the umpire. And they've just got numbers free as, well, Crawford comes in, but just a little bit too late. Tumbling kick down the line. Couldn't find Payno, 2-on-1. But again, as we talked about, numbers one more time. It's Hagan now onto the right foot. Tries to find the big man Bradford, just dropped a little bit too low for him, and they've escaped again, the Hawks, and we're going to have a throw in on centre wing, far side of the ground.
So we've played about 7 minutes into this second term, and the Magpies has basically been camped in their forward 50. So they've got one behind to show for it, and that's it. They want to get a bit more reward for effort. Bradford wins the tap down, but not really to anyone in particular of advantage. Lonergan was tackled from the aforementioned Bradford. We'll have another ball up. It's a beautiful ground here, Lemke Road. It's one of the best in the league. Dwyer, you could say won the tap down, comes off hands, going in hard. Mitchell taps it towards himself, gets on the left boot. Now he's going to find Highlands, who can play on. It's big one-on-one in the square. Bloss and Austin. Austin had the height advantage, couldn't take the mark. Beams, that's a clever hand pass. And finally, the Magpies have got their first. It's a much-needed first goal to reduce the margin. And that's been kicked by Carl Reid. 4 straight 24 to 1-4-10. We've played 7 minutes and pretty much 8 minutes into this second term. Nick Davis.
Well, that was the best forward entry we've seen from them all day. They kept the pressure on. They knew that Sandgate had numbers running back and weren't set up. I've always thought they'd been rushed, but they managed to get them on the roll that time. And good hands down there by Beams. A lot of experience at the bottom of the contest. I could see he was just about to come off the ground there, but he's been sent back into the middle. And, well, hopefully that's the kickstart that this Magpies outfit need. So just reconvene in the middle of the Hawks. Probably a little bit dirty on that one there, but at the same time, they withstood so much pressure. Eventually, the damn wall was going to break. So what can they do now? Can they get a roll on the Magpies? As Bradford goes up against that man, and Dwyer gets a punch away, the big man. First of the footy. Well, it's Dennis. Gets the kick over the top. Hawks go forward again. This is their first real foray for this quarter. His bodies fly left, right and centre. Legs akimbo. Fabian, that man, tries to get a little volley out of the pack. Doesn't work as he's wrapped up in the contest. And now we're seeing a bit more pressure from the Magpies. It's Cash and Harris. Managed to get the hands out the back. They've got the numbers there. But just bullocking his way through the contest. Look at him go. He's got run now. And they've got a man over the top. Just got to be good. And it drops. Drops very nicely in the hands of Goodland. No, he doesn't rush. He doesn't even turn around. He just walks back and says, boys, let me take this one. And that was good ball movement off the half-back line, Riley Starray.
It certainly was. Jack Goodall, of course, he is a Redlands product. He goes in between Chelmer and the Bay. He's a very good footballer. He's a good kicker of the football too. And I think he can kick it from here.
Let's see how he goes. Goodall, the right footer, a little bit stuttery. Bit of Kennedy-style action. Winds up with the right. It's swinging back. He's got it. Get around him, they say. Goodall with the Magpies, second for the afternoon. 2 goals, 4-16. They trail Sandgate 4 goals straight. And, well, as we said, finally that kickstart, we've seen it. I don't know what Coach Morgan said in the quarter time, but that's better pressure, and this is the Magpies outfit that we know.
It certainly is, and I think one of the things we've really noticed in this second term, and it's been one of the question marks on this Sandgate outfit for a number of years now, not necessarily how young they are, but it's just the physical body size. And I think the Magpies, they do have a lot of bigger bodies, a lot of seasoned bodies. And I think that's really starting to wear down the Sandgate outfit a little bit. And it happened last week as well against Wilston Grange as Bradford wins it down decisively, but straight to Janky Kane. Hand pass at the bottom of the pack from Harding. Easton goes in hard. It's cleared away from Janky Kane. It's not a bad kick too. And it goes in the hand of Highlands. Now, what does he have ahead of him? He's going to go in the direction of Austin and Goodall. They both fly against each other. Goes over the back. It's a foot race towards the ball. Macaulay Lonergan, the man with no first names, sends it out of play. And we'll have a throw in. 20 metres out.
What do they say?
The Magpies attacking goal.
What do they say about not trusting a man with 2 first names? What do you do with a man with 2 last names?
All right, well, footy about to be thrown back in. Another opportunity here for the Magpies. As the big man manages to get it down. Left foot snap, just not in time. And that's a bit of composure there. I like that from the Hawks. And they can escape. Left footer clears it out of the line, kicks down the contest. They've got it over the back if possible, and it's going to spill over the line for a boundary throw-in. And I just think now that we've seen the rain come down, it's a slippery deck out there. You mentioned earlier the physicality that the seasoned bodies of the Magpies have as opposed to this young, fast-running Sandgate outfit. Just feel that it just brings the game back onto the Magpies' terms here. And just slow down that slick ball movement that Sandgate had earlier. And crunch him a bit around the contest. The appeal is there for holding the ball. And it is paid. So I want to get it back on their terms now. It's just looking a little bit slow and a little bit less keen to try and find a bit of space. And forcing a kick down the line through the hands. Goes through 2 sets of hands there. Cash and Harris couldn't even get his hands on it. Just bombed down, play on, says the umpire. Banged out of the pack there by Fry. 3 Magpies at the fall of the ball. Snapped on there by Lawrence. And that's actually a good kick, and it's found it to Easton, last year's rising star. He wastes no time, gets on the right foot, bangs it down the line. No one's really reading this well at the moment. The Magpies have a chance as Highlands is through his hands. But marking the last line of the fence there by Crawley, and he's been good in the defence this afternoon, Riley Starray.
He certainly has. He'll send it towards half-back. It's out of play. I reckon he's been the Hawks' best defender so far today. He's looked like a very sure presence down there. I like the way as a whole the Hawks have defended. They've made sure pretty much every shot on goal outside of that set shot from Goodall and Austin in the first quarter. It's always been under pressure, or if not, if it is a set shot at tough angles, it's made it every score be earned. As neither ruckman really went it down that time. Dennis tried to get it away. Falls off the hands to Harding. And he'll set it out of play. We'll have another ball up. At half forward.
Just took him on there, Harding, but good on him. Trying to break the contest. That's what they want to see. They can't move the ball cleanly by foot, then they're going to have to run it a little bit in these conditions. Being led by the big man in Bradford, gets another tap down. Cries for holding, not there. Left foot there by Dennis. And just swing it down the line. Can't get it on the second take. Well, Crawford, he's been busy. Just pops in through the hands. No one's able to take this cleanly. Gallagher tried. Now the right foot. This is better. Puts him under the pump. He's got to be good here, Crawley. Yeah, manages just to do enough. We're going to have another boundary throw in. 5 metres out for the Magpies goal. 4 goals straight, pardon me. Don't know what's happened. 4 goals straight, Sandgate. And the Magpies 2 goals, 4-16, boundary throw in.
Critical juncture of this game, this one. Sandgate need to hold. They get the clearance away from Harding towards the wing. Big fly at the back. No mark taken from Fabian. It's cleared away from Patching. Now it is going to be a foot race. Magpies have the numbers. Hagan, though, he is quick. He forced the contest. Cash and Harris tries to lay a tackle. Well done, though, from Mitchell. He got it towards the wing. Falling over his own 2 feet, Dwyer. Now it goes to Hagan. This could be really against the runner. Playing hurt. Hogan will send it long. It's going to go to Taglieri. It's going to bounce. He's held. He gets it anyway. And he's got the free. It was either going to be a free kick or a goal. Take your pick. And James Taglieri, he can kick his first for the afternoon, and this really would be against the run of play.
Well, this is what they wanted here, the Hawks. Just trying to get that footy out over the back. They haven't managed to do it this term. Knew Taglieri had the speed there, and you're right, a bit of a professional foul in the old vernacular, and, well, he's going to come in right now.
So Taglieri to send it to 14 points. He does. So they've been very accurate this afternoon, the Hawks. They've got a 14-point lead as we tick over halfway through this second term. 5 straight 30, 2-4-16. Round 5 of the QAFL Saturday afternoon football. And the Hawks are taking it up to their more seasoned opponents, Nick Davis.
Yeah, absolutely. They've bought themselves a little bit of breathing space there because the traffic had been all the Magpies' way at that point. But as I said, that sort of play has been starting deep in defence. Mitchell Crawley's been an absolute standout so far, and just haven't been able to use their speed to the advantage that we saw in the first term. As we said, the big storm came in, really levelled the playing field, as it always does, and needed to make that one tally area to buy that breathing space, and they do. Now they've got the numbers, they're pressing forward again. That man, Cashin Harris, he's floating around and he's looking dangerous. Just hustling around the contest. Through the hands there for Benjamin Hogan, can't get it clean. Gets it back a second time. That was Mackenzie. They're wrapped up there, they're all appealing for it. And, well, he was appealing to the boundary umpire there, and I just don't think that's in his jurisdiction.
Certainly not.
As it goes up again. Well, taken pretty cleanly out of the contest there by Winton. I like that, but men just fly everywhere. And that was over the shoulder there. Nicely called there by the umpire. And Winton will go back and take a free kick. Had his head down. Well, the heavy body just fell over the top of him. So Winton, the right footer. The flying mullet comes through with Loki. Puts the pressure on. Bit of a puddle flying there. 2-on-1. Got to get it out. Water flies. Little Superman dive and nudged over the line right in front of the Sandgate bench. And he may have been a little bit, unlucky. Not to get the free there, the young man Riley Easton, last year's rising star. Well, boundary umpire wastes no time, gets that footy back in. Sandgate have the numbers around the contest, but just can't get clean hands to the footy. Casey Barber's floating around the back of the pack. He's got to put the pressure on now, just skinning through the hands, and, well, Loki does well. Force the man over the line. We have a boundary throw in, 65 metres out from the Magpies' goal.
So a bit of a mismatch here in the ruck at the moment. You've got Bradford against young Austin. In terms of both height and physical capabilities, Easton didn't really get a kick off the boot. Crawford indiscriminately kicks it away, but it favours the Hawks. Hogan keeps it in. Harding, well, he spent it before he got it really. He's turned it over. Easton's tackled. He'll go out of play. There'll be a boundary throw in.
Yeah, got me a bit of treatment there, Easton. They know what he's capable of, the young man. I'll tell you what, I've loved the game from Gareth Crawford. He's been absolutely phenomenal around the contest, and really, every time there's a 50-50 ball, he's managed to keep the Magpies in the contest. As that man again manages to get the footy forward, and, well, yeah, kicking in danger it's been called, so it's going.
Contact below the knees, Nico.
Below the knees, pardon me. And Gareth Crawford gets the footy flying forward. Have they got numbers over the back? First man to the ball. And they managed to get it over the line for another boundary throw in.
So Sandgate had about 2 inside 50s in this second term. They've got 1 goal. Magpies dominated really in the general field of play. And they really haven't got much reward for effort, as it'll be another stoppage inside the forward 50 for the Magpies. That's really been the story of this second term. A lot of repeat stoppages, but not that much reward for effort, you'd have to say. Crawford, well, he's bowled over. Very well done there from the Hawks. He's cleared away defensively towards half-back. Payno will try and fly, dropping in front well, though, with Sivic. Now, Sivic is about 75 metres out from goal. He was sending it right back from whence it came, towards the forward line. No mark taken from Goodall. Numbers at the back favour the Hawks. Barber's going to have to do very well here. He'd want it out of play. He keeps it in, though. That was absolutely superb. Goes with the banana, tries to find Fabian. Tries to go to the back towards another speedster in Cashin Harris, but couldn't keep it. Easton does well. He was composed. Now Luca Winton. He's 50 out. He'll set it towards goal. It's hit the post off hands, and it's 1 behind. So it's another point to the Magpies. 5 straight to 2-5. And we've almost ticked in the time on in this second term.
Oh, didn't we just see the speedsters link up there? That's exactly what Casey Barber's backing his side for. Well, but the Magpies have numbers, and well, they're looking good at the moment. They just need to capitalise, and no one, absolutely no one on Cale Reid. And, well, they want to play it on. I don't know why he chose that option, but, well, the footy's now safely back in the hands. I thought he had a shot directly in front there. Just may not have backed himself in. The footy's in the hands of Macaulay Lonigan. Lonigan, 2 goals so far this season, but it's been one of their best, the Magpies, 3 times in. And Lonigan, well, to bring this back now to a 7-point game. Comes in, decent run up. Casually as you please. Lonigan gives it low, but just high enough The Magpies have their third for the afternoon. I almost, for the life of me, couldn't understand why that footy was given off, but they back the right foot there of Lonigan. It's Sandgate, 5 goals straight. The Magpies, 3 goals, 5-17. 20 and a half minutes played in this second term, Riley.
So they've been pretty inaccurate in this opening half, you'd have to say, Nick, but maybe now they're starting to get some reward for what has really been dominance. 3 goals to 1 now. It's probably deserve a couple more, but there is still plenty of time in this second term. We've only ticked over 20 and a half minutes, so we're just in the time on. With plenty of football to be played before half-time. As back in the middle, Bradford wins it decisively off the spike. Batchelor, he's been pretty good this afternoon. Feeds a hand pass away. He's got a free kick for a push. And what have they got forward? Payno is one of them. The big, tall, lumbering man, and that's where it'll go.
Got to get over the back.
Big contest of players here. Spoil away from the veteran in Lawrence. It falls down there. Harding, he snaps it towards goal. Cashin Harris. Well, he's had a bit of an almost afternoon, really, since it's become wet. He's been a little bit fumbly. It's a good kick towards the wing. Dennis couldn't quite take it. Sandgate have the numbers. It's hand passed away from Hogan. They've got numbers at the back of the contest. It's fed to Crawley. They could look towards the middle. Instead, he goes really just down the line. It's worked out okay. And it's a 50-metre penalty for encroachment. And what could have really been a turnover is now going to be a shot at goal for the Hawks. And pretty much just like their first goal in this second term, it's quite a bit against the run of play. And this could extend it to 13 points.
Yeah, they were frustrated and distracted there, the Magpies. Their appeals for out in the full wasn't paid, and that lapse in concentration has led to a 50-metre now. And then a shot on goal that gives them more breathing room to the Hawks. The goal umpire's running, and it's through for, well, the first minus score of the afternoon for Sandgate. 5 goals, 1, 31 plays the Magpies, 3 goals, 5, 23. So the first chance to have a look to see how they set up defensively. Their forward pressure has been sensational this afternoon, and we're just going to run this one out here. Kicks in the Bradford direction, dangerous. Man comes over the back. Must have been through hands because it's been called play on. Mark not called to Adam Fry, and, well, we're going to have a ball up. 52 metres out from the Hawks' goal.
So Larkins, he was the beneficiary of the 50, but it just went off the boot slightly. There'll be another ball up. Going over the top was Bradford. Batchelor almost ran onto it. He gets it now. Almost tries to break the tackle. That's a brilliant tackle, though. It's a lot better defensive pressure from the Magpies. Well done from Lawrence. It's about 40 metres out from the attacking goal here for the Hawks. They'd love another one. As we sit towards half-time, getting the ways Winton. It was spoiled. Socket off the ground from Reed. Falls back. Hogan's there first. He'll hand pass back to the man with a flowing mullet in. Loki Haynes, but he is taken in a ripping tackle from Clay Beams. He was never getting out of that one. And Highlands has really just pushed him in the head towards the ground.
Yeah, I didn't like that from Highlands. Third man in.
There's Beams down the line. Big contest of players. Falls off hands. Well done from Crawley. And Haynes, well, he's beneficiary of the shocker. They do have numbers if they want the switch on the outer side. Instead, he goes up the line. Well, not the greatest of options. No mark taken from Dwyer. Maynard was tackled hard. And it'll be a ball up right in front of the commentary position. We've played 24 minutes into this second term. 5-1-31 to 3-5-23. 8 points to the good Sandgate.
Yeah, just went hard in that contest there. Maynard kept the head down smart. There's a tumbling kick, gets kicked out there by Harding. There's a bit of space here in the middle. They've got numbers here, the Hawks. Just manages to keep it in. Cashin Harris has gone down. He's hurt there. We're going to keep calling. Right footer. It's a wobbly kick, but it manages to get itself out into the path of O'Halloran. He's got to be good with the foot. He turns back around into the path of Bradford. Now they've got to set it up here, the Hawks. A little kick over the shoulder. Probably not the most clever thing to do. And marked by Mitchell, who can slow down the play.
Now the problem is they did have an initial short option in Winton defensively on this broadcast wing, but they had absolutely no one else, so there was no chance of an overlap. Winton's just going to set it up. Lonigan, well, he got there late, fell off his hands. Hogan, he'll sort of place kick it. Umpire gets in the way, but it's worked out all right. Sivic isn't too happy about it. And Michael Hagan, the Aspley product, he can have a shot at goal, 45 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Well, you see community umpire around this week, and we're all celebrating, except for maybe one man at the moment. But you just saw the numbers set up around the contest there by Sandgate. They had about 4 outside that, so set that up beautifully, and well, hopefully they can capitalise.
Michael Hagan, he'll kick from 47. That's a good kick off the boot. Will it make the distance? No, it's just been touched on the line. So could have probably taken a couple more metres, really. Wasn't a bad effort, though, in these conditions. The second behind for the afternoon for the Hawks. 5-2 to 3-5. Gallagher to take the kick in. And he'll just send it towards a huge pack of players. Everyone converges. Well done from Fry to spoil it over the boundary. As we're just about to tick 26 minutes in to this second term. It's a 9-point lead to the Hawks. Nick Davis.
Yeah, probably about 5 minutes left here, we'd say. Just in long quarters. 9-point game at the moment with Sandgate. They've just been a little bit better towards the end of this second term, and just using the conditions to their advantage as Cashinera comes second man in the tackle and really keeps a bit of pressure there, but we've got an arm over the shoulder, rightly called, and there's a little bit of heat. Settle it down. A few of the senior players coming into the contest, nothing really in it. But they've played with some heart this quarter, the Magpies. Seen a bit of that. Bradford comes in over the top. Little kick away, just didn't quite work out for Fry. It's taken by Lawrence. Lawrence just punches it down the wing. So they come into the contest. Oh, wrapped up in a tackle by last year's Rising Star. Just gets the kick forward. This is a bit more traditional wet weather footy we see. And the foot race is on again. Trying to get there is Crawley first. Little toe poke works out pretty well for the Magpies, but it's turned over. Oh, had him under pressure there. That kick just went 15. And taken by Patching of the Jaden variety. Finds his man in the middle there by Batchelor. And now they've got some space. Maynard's got a paddock. He just has to be clean with it. He is. Kicks it long. Well, a little bit shorter actually. Tries to look for the other Patching. But the fist just comes back in. They're going to get it going forward again. You'd almost think the volley would be the right thing in that situation. And the throw has been called. Well, there was a bit of momentum there, I thought, for the Hawks, but the turnover has happened, and now Reid. Reid has a cross halfback. He's got a man free on the wing. Finds that man in Fletcher. Fletcher just keeps rolling forward. Looks for Beams. Sends it at his bootlaces, but that's all class. Sees the man on the inside. Gives it to last year's Rising Star and Riley Easton. Hands back over the top. Beams tries to crash his way through the park. Play on, says the umpire. Bodies flying left, right and centre. They're fighting for it. It's a great piece of play. It's still going. They're still going. Hands through over the top. Finds it to Fletcher. Fletcher on the right foot. Goes through the hands again. They're still going, the Magpies. They're working this ball forward. They want this goal. They're pressuring forward. Into the hands. Nicely done indeed. And Jakey Kane says yes.
Great call there, Nico. And that was just... wasn't necessarily textbook by any sense of the imagination, but it was just will and force. And what was at one stage, a 24-point lead has now been whittled down to 3. 5-2-32, 4-5-29. This is turning into a ripping contest, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
Glad you're all watching us here this afternoon.
What we saw there was just that breakdown. Sandgate really had the opportunity. There was a bit of a fumble from Maynard. If he had probably got that clean, we probably would have been looking at a Sandgate goal there, but fumbled around a little bit with the footy. Very tough in these conditions, but maybe the opportunity we talk about in the wet weather conditions, maybe the volley was the right option. Instead, got pinged for a throw. And that was probably the most complete passage of footy we've seen from the Magpies all afternoon. Worked it very well, but just the pressure and the presence of Clay Beams and Riley Easton, the young and the old working together to get that footy forward. And Jakey Kane, class finish there. So the Hawks, well, they want to go in with a bit of an advantage here. It's a 3-point ball game. Sitting around the half-forward line, but the Magpies, they're here to play now as the punt goes down the line, but well taken there high. Here's Vitalieri. And he's just going to try and move that on, push that towards the wing, really kicking out to space, and that is half-time. And, well, it was all Sandgate in the first term as the rain came down to wash out the first term, but I tell you what, the Magpies, 4 goals, 5-29. It's only a 3-point game here at Lemke Road. Sandgate 5 goals, 2-32. The Magpies 4 goals, 5-29. You'd have to say you give all the points to the Magpies that quarter, Riley.
You certainly do. And I tell you what, there was a much better pressure. They really just sort of flexed their muscle there a little bit in that second term. I'm just having a look towards the Sandgate bench, and it looks like Batchelor, he's just talking to the trainers. He doesn't look like he's in the greatest of ways. He's going to be key to that second half for Sandgate, who have not won in a long time, Nico, since May last year. And they've really got a chance here as we just run through the goal kickers to the Joshua Patching. Dominic Payno has one, James Taglieri has one, and Kai McKenzie, he's got one. Whilst for the Magpies, it's all singles to Junkie Kane, Reid, Lonergan and Goodall.
Well, a massive second half coming up after break. You see the Magpies walking off now. They're getting around each other. They're pumped now. They know they are back in the Saturday afternoon, round 5 quaffle action footy. Sandgate at home here at Lemke Road to the Western Magpies. Sandgate 5 goals to 32. The Magpies, big second term there. Had most of the traffic, 4 goals, 5-29. 3-point game here at Community Umpire Round as we celebrate the contribution made by the men and women who wear the green and officiate this great game of ours and who we are so thankful for. But I'll tell you what, this game is now perfectly poised. We've got a massive second half coming up, Riley Starray.
We certainly do. The Hawks by 3 points. Their last win was May 19 in last year, so they've really got a sniff as Crawford gets it out of the middle, sends it towards half forward. Bloss couldn't quite take it. He was bodied off at Highlands. Gets it away. Mitchell skewed off the boot. Lonergan's thereabouts. It goes through Barber's hands. Now Lonergan over the top. This could be a goal. Sandgate have to scramble, and they do it well. Haynes falls over. It's tapped back. It's a shot at goal. It's one behind. One behind to Luke Mitchell. 2 points the margin. 5-2 to 4-6. Barely a minute gone into this third term.
Yeah, I thought he was going to win the foot race there, but just not enough on the snap. Now, not much pressure there on the kick in, but he stubbed the kick and he's not happy with that. He's not happy at all. It's in the hands of Goodall. Maybe just a little bit too far out to score. I'll tell you what, if Reid decides to lead in the pocket there, option's probably gone now. Beams wants it ridiculously short. It's probably not going to happen. As Goodall, he's already kicked one this afternoon. The right footer, he runs round, brings it back, actually pulls it across the face a little bit too far, through for another minor score. 2 behinds to start the third term. They trail now by just a solitary point. Sandgate 5 goals, 2-32. The Magpies 4 goals, 7-31.
So it's a 1 point margin. Court will send it out towards halfback. Goodall again. It falls through his hands. Payno prominent early, but is fairly non-existent in that second term. Gallagher gets the hands away. Goodall tries to soccer it. He couldn't quite. Maynard, that's a clever kick, and now they can go. They have the plus spare over the top, Patching as the football. Taglieri screamed for it, but didn't get it. And they've really made a meal of it, but it's going to work out maybe okay. And to Larkins, to Barber, now to Patching. We'll send a tumbling sort of a ball towards half forward. Payno couldn't take the mark. Austin tackled straight away. Beams. Well, he's hand passed it straight into a Hawk. Payno, Taglieri. They're all willing at the moment. They're all fighting for a win. And it'll be a stoppage. And I tell you what, both sides know how important a win is here this afternoon. Of course, the Hawks are trying to break a hoodoo. The Magpies are just trying to restart their season.
Well, as we said, the Magpies, they dropped this one. They go into the bye at 1 and 4. Ball through to the back, and they're a little bit better at getting the footy out over the back. That's what did it for them in the first term, Riley Starray, but that was negated in the second term. It's happening again just from that play earlier. You can see that Michael Hagan was absolutely ropeable at his teammate there in Patching, not moving the footy on, too preoccupied with the man on the mark. They had the chance to break away. Goals will be at a premium as these slippery conditions really play havoc with what was originally poised as a phenomenal afternoon for footy. Big Queensland Storm came across and gave this place an absolute drenching, slowed down the fast ball movements of Sandgate, brought that physicality of the Magpies back into the contest, and now we sit at a 1 point game as ball brought back in, that man back in the side, Casey Barber, can't quite do enough, not 15, play on, says the umpire. He's been good this term. Ball's kept on the line, and we might have out in the full there, but no, the boundary umpire says can't make a decision on that one. We'll have a boundary throw in. Riley Starray, who started well?
Well, I think both sides have been really willing to start this third term. They know how important this is. There's, unfortunately, the throw in. I think it's just slipped out of the hands.
I'll tell you what, Batchelor was ducking for cover. When you got the televised game, you don't want a Falcon.
Comes back into the play. That's a little bit better. Austin pretty much won it down that time. Comes off Beans's hands. Fletcher, haven't called his name that often. Oh, he's tackled. Could have been holding the ball, not paid. Cashin Harris, he didn't get it away. Now it's taken out of there from Mitchell towards half forward. Highlands has to do well here. He taps it onto himself. Bloss, though, does well to cover. That is a shocking hand pass. And Drew Mitchell has just missed to the left. We are all square here at Lemke Road. 5-2 the 4-8. As the ball comes back into the field of play, Maynard over the top. He'll find there Harding. At halfback, he's got Michael Hagan presenting for him short. He doesn't go there. Instead, he goes further afield to Patching, and he really goes in between the two. And it's turned over. Dougie Lawrence, the veteran, will have it about 75 metres out. He'll send it towards half forward. That's a good kick to Saunders. He's about 55 out. There's some tall timber in the forward line. Instead, he goes short. It's a good kick. It's a very good kick, and Drew Mitchell, not the former Wallabies fullback, but the Magpies midfield star, will have a shot from about 50.
Well, I was going to say, we've seen his namesake take plenty of intercepts in his career, and well, he just picked off that hand pass there, and he'll be disappointed with himself that he couldn't finish. But I've got to ask, where was his man then? All alone, and now, regardless, they should take the lead.
So Drew Mitchell, biggest kick of the afternoon, sets it on its way. It's not a bad effort. And Bradford spoils it over the line, but importantly, for the first time this afternoon, the Maggies have hit the front. 4-9-33, 5-2-32. It's very delicately poised here. We played about 6.5 minutes into this third term as Court kicks it away.
Court long down towards the boundary, and they've managed to just see it over. We're going to have a throw in, 52 metres out. Really just giving away that first 15 metres on the new rules of the kick in, so Court not really under much pressure to move that footy out, but just try to get it as far as he could. As we said, slippery conditions out here, playing a little bit of havoc, and well, actually, no, after a conference with the boundary umpire, that was out in the full. So he's not touched over, so Court now flies for a footy. And this could be a chance here for the Magpies, and they get the snap away right side of the boot. And he just couldn't bring that around enough on the right foot there, Luke Mitchell, and through for another minor score. Been a lot of them this term for the Magpies. They move further ahead just by the point, and it's now a 2-point ball game. So the Hawks bring it back in, and they've just got to settle and try and get this back onto their terms. They push in the line, the Bradford direction. Oh, big fly at the back of the pack. It was Austin. Just couldn't get it. Now this is more like the Hawks. This is their game plan. If they can just try and get that fast-moving footy, they've spilled it a little bit. Managed to get back in possession. Got to be clean here. Cassin Harris. Well, he's managed to turn it over. They're back under the pump again. I thought they were out and away over the back. But the Magpies' pressure has been so good. Edwards gets the ball in his hand. He slips over himself and sees it over the boundary line. Going to have a throw in far side of the ground on the half-forward flank for the Magpies. It's a 2-point game here in this third term.
Unfortunately, you just get the feeling if the Magpies are going to make a decisive move, it's got to be now. They've got all the momentum and the dominance. They wouldn't want to concede one the other way as it's cleared away there from the Hawks, from Hagan. Well done from Payno to force for contest in the tackle, and it's holding the ball. Well, he's got the free kick. It is an open forward line.
Well
the
done.
Magpies have scrambled well. They've cut off the holes. So he's just going to have to be a bit patient. What's he got ahead of him? Dominic Payno. He's about 75 metres out. And he'll send it long. Cashin Harris has got to fly against 4. He couldn't take the mark. He gets it back. Gets a hand pass away. He's fallen over his own feet, really. He'll go back in it. Trying to break away. There's just a lot of bodies around this one. It's cleared, but it comes off a boot. Gallagher just taps it forward, says, get it out of my area. But it's going to be turned over pretty quickly. You just got to feel. It's at half back, trying to get it Bloss. He's dispossessed. Harding couldn't get it. Cashin Harris again, it slipped over him. They are going everywhere, all bodies, and Fletcher just belts it away. But it's probably going to be coming back through Cody Court. If he can take it, he couldn't quite. He's got to scramble. He gets past one. Hand passes it back. It's out of play. And they've let one slip there, the Hawks, Nick Davis.
Oh, very nicely done, Riley Starray. Just pinballing around it. How about the lift in tempo in this game? Diving attempt there by Cody. It wasn't caught, in fact. The ball's about to be thrown back in, and they've got to regain a bit of composure here. But I tell you what, we've got an absolute cracker on our hands here. 2 points in it, third quarter, round 5 quaffle action as the Hawks with another flurry forward. Magpies outnumber here, and they do that well. taken on the chest. Nice indeed there by Luca Winton. He's been good this afternoon. And, well, they're pressing with the line. I think they're trying to look to move it further around, but it's only Hawks at the back of the pack. That's how it's been all afternoon, and it doesn't look like we've had a change. A slinging tackle just does not let his man go anywhere. And it's that man, Loki Haynes, the best mullet in the game. We're going to have another throw in centre wing.
He's certainly the best mullet in the game, I feel.
Bradford and Austin go at it. Bradford gets the points again. He's having a dominant display in the wet this afternoon. Just another high speculator, a helicopter. Tap down the front of the pack, taken nicely there by Maynard. He just gets his body in so well. No prior opportunity, says the umpire, and we're going to have a ball up. Still a long way out for the Magpies goal, and I'll tell you what, this game is poised. Sandgate 5 goals, 2-32. The Magpies 4-10-34.
Bradford just spikes it away towards the boundary. First there, Janky Kane. He's tackled and dispossessed. Fletcher tries to get it out of the pack, but he couldn't quite. We'll have a ball in. So all the action pretty much on the other end of the ground. Sort of looking like it's... If you've ever heard of the term death by 1,000 cuts, the Magpies are trying to go death by 1,000 behinds. They kicked 4-10 this afternoon. Rather inaccurate. They could probably have a little bit more of a lead. But the Hawks, they're certainly in this contest. Haynes, well, he's basically done a bit of a speculative candy sell, and he's done it well because he's got it to a teammate there. Then Bradford tries to find there Barber, but well done, and could have been 50.
Such an important mark.
It wasn't played. Beams has got the kick. Now, he's got an option over the top in Winton. He didn't want to go there initially, so he's just postures himself. Janky Kane, he's about 80 metres out. He'll head towards the 50. The big man in Dwyer. They called him skinny before. Didn't get a Cashin Harris. Tries to dummy hand pass away to Maynard. He's got a teammate who's under pressure there in Hogan. He sends a speculative sort of ball towards the wing position. Cagliari almost falls over his feet, but does okay. Well done there from Marshall to force the contest. Gallagher just punts it towards the bench. Big contest here. Macaulay Lonergan, the man with no first names, got it away. Now it goes to Reid towards half forward. Hawks have the numbers, they should clear. Well done from Highlands to force the contest. Mitchell goes in hard and he'll lay a strong tackle. And we'll have a ball up in the forward 50, and I tell you what, this game has lifted a notch, Nick Davis.
Oh, hasn't it? How is the pressure out there from both sides? And it's just going to be the first team to crack at this point. It's got to be hard pressure acts. It's got to be hands to the footy. It's got to be getting your body over it. This is a war of attrition now. Game has completely changed as that footy's not getting out of that as Connor Bloss holds it in. We're going to have a ball up 25 metres out directly in front of the Magpies term. The Magpies goal, third term here at Lemke Road. Hands out over the top. Leading the foot race is Braden Harding. But the Magpies have turned it over. Will this kick be 15? It's Mitchell. Play on, says the umpire. Mitchell's got to steady himself. Can he get the kick away? Just throws it on his foot. Doesn't quite work. Can they get out of danger? Dangerous work there by Court. Doesn't quite escape just yet. It's not over yet. That man, Crawford, on the left foot. Will it be 15 this time? Not marked by 15 as it goes through his hands. And it will dribble over the line. And, well, I tell you what, the distances on the kicks just not quite there. The umpires very well umpired this community umpire round. A couple of maybe lost opportunities. And, well, Court, he danced with danger there. Big contest here is, well... No, still not 15, but rolls on the right foot. This could be it. This could be it. And I'll tell you what, Daniel Edwards has kicked at that right foot and they get around him. 5 goals. Oh, it's 5 goals, 10. 40, they lead the Hawks. 5 goals, 2-32. And, well, that goal was coming. You knew it was coming. They resisted for as long as they could, but they just couldn't clear the defence. And I love the composure there of that man, Daniel Edwards, to get that onto the boot. And, well, that means so much for the Magpies.
It certainly does. They deserve that goal. They really have been pressing in the last sort of really quarter and a half, really. The Hawks, they are a very young team. We know they give it everything they've got, but what have they got in and what resistance have they got?
Just need space. Just need space for the footy.
So back in the middle, big centre clearance coming up. Every goal is increasing in importance. Batchelor, well, he says, I just want to make a difference. Got the hand pass away to Harding. He couldn't get it away. Going in hard was Hogan. Yeah. Now it went to Barber. Now to Harding. And they've gone towards half forward. It is Michael Hagan. He's got an option in patching. He's all on his own. Instead, he kicks it straight into the man on the mark. He goes back at it. Pushed over. No free kick. Well done there from the veteran in Lawrence. He read it well. Now Trying to get away is Mitchell. He couldn't quite. Janky Kane, the ball winners of the Magpies are really starting to smell blood. It's socket away from Batchelor. His legs are taken. No free kick play on. Socket off the ground from Highlands. Trying to get in the way there is Dennis. He's dispossessed. Now it'll fall to Harding. He gets it away to the other Harding. Sends it towards half forward. Payno couldn't quite get there at the contest. First there is Marshall. He's got to beat the big man, and he does it very well. And he'll send it towards the wing. And Luke Mitchell, if he can keep it in, he's away.
He's away. Luke Mitchell does that very well indeed. Punches down the line. Ball goes to the back of the pack. That's what wet weather footy is all about. Hands over the top. He's going to be good here. Crawley gets it through now. Ball still in dispute. They're fighting for it out in that far flank. And will this be seen over the line? No, it won't. No free kick. Actually, it was. Hand over the shoulder. And they can reset and reload here, the Magpies. Well, what a passage of play we just saw. That's wet weather footy at its very finest. Ball's pumped now into the forward line. Spills free, no one's clear, wrapped up, can't get his man just around the waist there. Can Connor Bloss, as it's still going, they dive over the footy. Still fighting for it, umpire's going to let it breathe. Good call, really good call letting that footy breathe. Snap out of the pack was very good indeed. And Liam Dwyer. Well, I think a few of the Sandgate players stopped there thinking the ball up was going to be called. Right call by the umpire to let that footy play. And Dwyer, the big man, wrestled it free. And just rolled around to that right foot again, and what a snap, and that puts them further ahead now. It's been all the Magpies' way, and that may have changed had there not been another breakdown in communication down by the Sandgate players looking to get it over the back. And, well, this time it was a bit of a reverse. It was Patching who was ropeable at his man Hagan for not looking out the corner of his eye to see he had all that space. Turnover happened, and, well, the Magpies, 6 goals, 10-46. They lead the Hawks 5 goals, 2-42, 32.
So back in the middle. It goes to Easton from the tap from Bradford. Well done from Easton. He's found Mitchell. They are really coming now. He'll send it long. The big man in Dwyer. Couldn't quite take it. It falls off the back. Good second effort. The Hawks need a steady. Still goes off the hands. Beams will find Crawford. Will send it towards the square. Loki Haynes with a flowing mullet. Couldn't take the mark. It's socket out. Beams. Beams. Beams has missed. 15 points the margin now. The Hawks have only kicked 1 goal since the 19-minute mark of the first term. Nick Davis.
Yeah, this is very interesting now for the Hawks because the game that they've been playing has been frenetic and getting the footy over the back. But now all of a sudden the Magpies have worked out how to play in the same style. So they've taken their own game to the Hawks. And, well, it's going to be interesting what they can do here. They've just got to keep that footy moving forward. And this is their opportunity now. He calls his man. He rolls around on the right foot, puts it out in front, and the kick doesn't quite find Talieri, and he sees it over the line. It is a 15-point ball game. Midway through the third term here at Lemke Road. See a couple of rotations pushing down to the back line for the Hawks. It's Jaden Patching. Well, Beams, I missed a crucial opportunity to really maybe put it out of reach. So Patching will go to Beams now and keep the pressure on him as Beams goes forward. That man Crawford has been sensational this afternoon. Another touch, and now that matchup it is. Patching and Beams. Nicely done to Patching there. Coming through the flying mullet into Loki. There's a wobbly kick down. Crawford's underneath it. Beaten to it by Barber, but they get away. Nearly run down from behind by Hagan, and they've forced a turnover. It's taken there by Harding. Harding onto the right foot. He's got a man there on the flank, and they can set up again to his other Harding. Well, they're looking for Payno. Payno's calling for it, but the Magpies have got numbers deep. It's kind of forced just to roll down the line. Payno's going to have to fly anyway, but expertly worked under the ball, and, well, it's taken nicely by the most recent goal scorer in Dwyer. And Dwyer just tries to settle the play down.
So Dwyer, he'll send it towards the wing position. Huge pack of players. Bradford the tallest, couldn't quite take the mark. Handball by Larkins. Highlands lays a strong tackle. Crawford, who's been one of the Maggies' best this afternoon, sends it forward. Lonergan almost took it, but he recovered well. Edwards, now it's a big one-on-one coming up. The AFL experience in Beams. He was outpointed there from Patching. He didn't have the greatest position. Highlands will send it forward with a chaos ball. No mark from Goodall. Beebs comes in. This is a massive kick. It goes towards goal, and it has stayed in and hit the point post.
I'll tell you what, how about the leg break there from Beebs? He had it. Maybe a bit of talk would be required there. He had his man blocking, so just could have taking that extra couple of seconds there to steady. Regardless, we've got a ball in 15 metres out and 15 points in this game. Well, going up at it, it's going to be O'Halloran, and it beats all the ruckmen there. Just got a bit of a nasty bounce there to Jordan Harding, and the umpire says, I'll take that, thank you very much. Ball up, 20 metres out from the Magpies goal. Community Umpire Appreciation Round this week. Big thank you to the men and women in green who do so much for this game. As the ball's tapped down towards the pocket, bodies fly, hurdles in very nicely indeed. Oh, well, he went for it. He went for the inside out banana, did Cale Reid, and well, the banana just bent the wrong way. He's kicked it out the full, and it'll be Loki Haynes to bring that footy back in. 15-point ball game here at Lemke Road.
So we've hit time on into this third term. The Magpies have made their challenge with 15 points to the good. What can this young Hawks outfit do? We know the skill they can display at times. Haynes will send it towards the boundary, and Dwyer will spoil it out of bounds. We did mention they've only kicked one goal since the 19-minute mark of the opening term, Nick. It seems like that Storm, I don't want to say it necessarily changed the whole game, but it slowed down the momentum they certainly had. It really stopped their run. They haven't really been able to get it since, so Bradford wins it down. Falls to the bottom of the pack. Batchelor tries to wrestle it out of there. It comes away, going in hard, Maynard. Trying to get it out there is Drew Mitchell. He couldn't quite, and Maynard taking in a tackle. Another ball up.
For anyone watching at home, Maynard, how he performs around the bottom of the contest, gets his body over the footy. That's how you get a ball out of a pack. Always first hands to it, protects himself really well. And the kids watching at home, that's how you put your head over the footy. It's Casson Harris. Just can't get away. It's pinched by Mitchell. With a nice kick to the top of the forward 50. Ball through the hands. They're going to run in. They're going to run in and kick another one, the Maggies. Oh, boy. Well, that puts a lot of pressure on the Hawks now. That's going to be troubling. As we said, it was just stolen from Casson Harris, and quite a composed kick there by Mitchell, and put them the defence of Sandgate under a lot of pressure, and just strolled straight through into an open goal. And well, the dynamic of this game has changed a lot. As you spoke about earlier, Riley Starray, it's youth versus experience, it's speed versus physicality, but right now that physicality and experience seems to be winning out.
It certainly is, and really since quarter time it's been all Wests. It's a 21-point margin, so it's certainly gettable. They are on their home deck, but they're going to want to get one or two before three-quarter time just to take some momentum in, as Bradford spiked it towards the wing position. Cashin Harris overran it. Macaulay Lonigan, he got it away. Austin couldn't pick it up. Now it's sent towards half forward there from Harding. It wasn't Payno, it was Fabian flying. Hagan pushed his opponent over. Still bouncing around. Cashin Harris tried to get a sock up to the bottom of the pack, and we'll have a stoppage. As the umpire says, give it to me. 30 metres out. This is the Hawks' chance. They need one here as we head towards three-quarter time. So here's the ball up. Winning it down decisively there was Paynos. Just a big pack of players. Gallagher soccers it twice. Goes to Beams, who just breaks out of the pack with some explosion to Janky Kane. We'll send it towards half back. It's a 2-on-1, but Edwards gets there first, and he's more than happy to see it out of play. It'll be about 85 metres out from the Hawks' attacking goal. Yeah, the experience of Beams starting to really come into this game. I thought he was quiet in the first half, but keen level-headedness and composure. Managed to find his way out of a fair few contests now, and this is what the Magpies really need. Oh, not called there in the back. Anyway, we're going to keep moving with the players. The footy's punched down towards the half-forward line, taken out in front. Crawford doesn't waste any time, gets the hands going, finds it to Luke Mitchell, who just punched the forward, camped underneath it, running back with a fly to the play was Cale Reid. The pressure is on him, it's been turned over, but a great tackle, keeps it in contest. Didn't want to go with the hands there, picked up now by Jaden Patching. He's a big in this week, and that's some composure taken there by Loki Haynes. They've got to clear this out because they've got numbers here, the Hawks, and they take it and they're going to slow it down. Going to try and find the next option. I thought they were out and away over the back. Don't seem to be now. Brandon Batchelor is called to play on. I thought he had to bomb it down the line and smother there off the mark by Lachlan Dennis. Oh, they've got numbers, but Dennis is still going, and a bit clumsy there. Bit of a knee to the head on Maynard.
As I said, he always got his head over the footy, Maynard, and that's how you play and that's how you get free kicks when you deserve them. But the kick, not great, finds itself in the hands of William Fletcher, one of the best for the Magpies this year. And speaking of one of the best for the Magpies, that man Crawford, he's been unstoppable today. And, well, he wants to get it going. He does on the right foot. Wobbly kick. It might sit all right. No, it doesn't. And, well, the Hawks can escape here, and that could be courtesy of Casey Barber, another big in this week. He's got a 3-on-1, but he backs his speed and pace. Here he goes, just got to get it up clean, but the Magpies have numbers. He's still getting that footy going forward. Coming to help him out now is Hagan. Can he get there in time? Hagan gets hands to it now. Just not enough, though. Ball over the line. They worked that out well there, the Hawks. That's what they have to do. They have to use their speed. That's how they're going to break down this Magpie unit right now. It is, well, it's out to a 21-point game, so they need a goal quickly, Riley Starray.
So back at the contest, head towards three-quarter time. The umpire says, give it to me. Right on the wing position. The Hawks, they've really been swooped in this third term. So how will they respond? Coming up, Fabian gets the hands away. That was well done. Fine Batchelor, but his hand pass, like a couple of times this afternoon, has been deflected. And it's a free kick, and it's going the way of the Magpies, so maybe a little bit of frustration starting to set in.
Yeah, just got to keep their heads, got to stay cool here. Game is not beyond them whatsoever, but if they crack a bit, then this experience of Magpies may just take the game away from them.
So, going up there, Bradford, he's spiked it out of play. One thing I have noticed, he has dominated the headouts this afternoon, but not a lot to advantage. The Hawks midfielders haven't taken that first use opportunity.
Well, we noticed that in the first term. He was absolutely dominant, it was Bradford in the first half, but just as you said, yeah, you're right, just not really quite finding the targets with the headouts to advantage, so that influence has been really negated. So forcing the young boys around the contest to work a lot harder, and they're doing it nicely indeed. Taken there by Hogan on the left foot. Well, it's no one really in particular, so Fabian, the best facial hair in the business, rolls around on the right foot, over the top of Cass and Harris, finds his way to the Magpies, and they can settle it down again. Taken out wide there. It's Beams, who, you know, we said had been quiet in the first half, but he's had a fantastic third term, and he's got a man free. They can now roll on the Magpies down the wing. Willis go over the top of Crawley, goes over the top of everyone, possibly held the jumper there a little bit, did Riley Easton. And I think the umpire's called and seen it. Yes, he has. Well, maybe a bit of a get out of jail there. A little bit undisciplined there from last year's rising star. Let's kick back towards the middle. This is better there from the Hawks. Managed to get away there. Did it young Kai McKenzie. Now over the top. Just really kicks it to advantage, but not quite to the advantage they hoped for. This could be a little bit better. That looks like it's gone into the way of Hagan. Hagan over the top. Now, this is an opportunity. If they can just settle it down and find the right option. It's O'Halloran. Possibly too far out to score. Remember, it is wet and slippery out there. He's calling numbers down, the young man. Being brought around now by the umpire. Well, he's probably just going to have to put this along with the top of the square. He's going to be kicking from about 45 metres. Let's see what he can do with this one. O'Halloran. Oh, he gives it some journey. Not quite enough, though. Spilled through to the back of the pack. Casson Harris is chasing down, but he gets wrong-footed by, well, just experience alone, and they find their way out the Magpies in the hands of Janky Kane.
So Janky Kane from half-back. Pretty much everything since quarter time has been thwarted by the Magpies. Good tackle from Bloss. And we'll have a stoppage as we head towards three-quarter time. The Magpies have made their move. 7-11-53, 5-2-32, round 5 of the QAFL. And it's been really critical for them just to get the win this afternoon for both teams. Haynes comes in hard, bounced off his hands, but good follow-up there from Harding. Indiscriminate hand pass, not the best decision in these tough conditions. Court goes back. He finds Larkins. Larkins, good kick, and he goes to Harding. Now, what's ahead of him? It's once again, they've done it a lot this afternoon, kicked into the man on the mark, and it's cost them. Crawford hand passes away. Macaulay Lonigan, this could be a dagger. He'll set it towards the square. And there's the siren. And did the Hawks ever need that? They just need a breather, and they need a massive charge in the last term to come back and seal a victory, as Jack Goodall does not look good at all. He looks pretty sore, Nick Davis.
Yeah, he got it crunch in that contest there, but I'll tell you what, there'll be no more leave man on this field, and Casey Barber had to take it on the first go, spilled through the hands. Experience of Crawford came through, and, well, they get out of jail, but I tell you what, another dominant term there by the Magpies. They lead Sandgate 7-11-53 to 5 goals to 3.
Final term about to get underway here, and for two football clubs from the Brisbane region, it could be a defining one for season 2019. The Magpies head to the final term, 21 points to the good, 7-11-53 to the Sandgate Hawks, 5-2-32. But I've got a feeling this one will go right down to the wire. Riley Starro, Nick Davis with you for the QAFL coverage. And Nico, it has been an enthralling contest, but the Magpies made that move in that third term.
Oh, absolutely. Experience started to prevail a little bit there. As we saw in the first term, the game plan of Sandgate to get that footy over the back was killing them until the rain came down, brought it to a level playing field, and now experience is starting to win out. So what can happen here in this term? Can Sandgate find a bit of space and movement, or will the Magpies carry on their merry way? Let's find out as Bradford gets a tap down. Maynard first hands to the footy. He's been good this afternoon. Right foot ball, long down to the forward line. Roving around, there's Hagan. Cass and Harris couldn't get clean hands to the footy. They've managed to just move it out now. And seen over the boundary line there by Gallagher. We're going to have a throw in 53 metres out from the Magpies goal, but that first touch, very important there for Sandgate.
It certainly was, and I'm just having a look on the ground. Jack Goodall, he has started on the field in this final term. He's kicked 2 in this game. He's been one of the better Magpies. As it comes out, Harding will send it forward. Try to get the spoil was Gallagher, dancing his way through was Taglieri, and it should be a free fly for Hagan. Well, he had no opponent on him, really. And his teammate, who I think was Hogan, just occupied the one Magpie. And this is a great start to the final term. Michael Hagan will have a shot from 25 out.
Great from Taglieri there, just managed to move his way through the contest.
So Hagan, huge kick in this one, will set it on its way. And they've kicked a goal, and the Hawks crowd love it. There's quite a few of them here this afternoon. They needed the first of this final term, and they've got it. 7-11-53 to 6-2-38. We've played almost 1.5 minutes into this final term, Nick Davis.
Yeah, a bit of noise there from the Hawks crowd. They know they're not out of this, and well, we haven't seen the rain around for a little bit. So, as we said, we've seen two completely different game plans and sides and stature coming up against each other. And it's a game of chess between these two, whether it be speed versus composure or size versus just youth. So far, it's seemed to win out the start of this term here for the Hawks. So Bradford, he's got to be big this term. He's got to be really big, and that was good. That was great ball movement. Unfortunate Smothers got to come in Shepherd now. Doesn't quite do it. He's in trouble. Just pickpocketed there by Crawford. He's been spectacular this afternoon. This is an opportunity. Austin with the left foot. He goes bang! Serve return there by the Magpies. They go to 8-11. And they lead Sandgate 8-11 to 6-2, and well, just I think it all started with just a little low leg smother, and so I thought they were away there, Sandgate, but the composure there by Crawford just picked his pocket. And Austin, that's a confidence play for the Magpies, and just negated that first goal kick there by Hagan. So both sides move ahead a goal. 8-11-59 plays 6-2-38. It's going to be very exciting last term, Riley Starro.
It certainly will be. Sandgate, they need to keep the pressure on. They can't drop their heads after conceding the quick reply. So they keep on moving as the tap down. Highlands won it down, but Batchelor got the clearance. Barber couldn't get it. Goodall, he's moved towards the middle of the ground. Could be a decisive move from coach Bryden Morgan. The kick was indiscriminate, but it's got away for Sandgate. From half back from Larkins towards half forward, going in hard there was Hagan, but he couldn't get it away. It looks like there's a play down the middle. It is Barber. You keep your eye on that one, Nick, as it's out on the full. It's going to be a Sandgate free kick from half back. What can they do with it? And it will be Larkins with the footy.
Casey Barber in the hands of the trainers. Just he looks sore. He looks in a bad way. And I thought he was going to be a real X factor in this last term. Can't do much about that now. The Magpies just bang it back down the line. They've got numbers at the fall of the ball. Rolling around is Reed on the left foot. They've got space. They can work this here, the Maggies. It's now in the hands of... Well, ball goes forward. Spilled over the back of the pack. That's wet weather footy for you. Round on the right foot. Can he dive and take the mark? Why has he played on? Don't know. Must have been touched round the left foot. Just not enough. And through for a minor score.
Behind there from Luke Mitchell. Could have been the decisive goal in this one. Instead, Court will send it towards half-back. No mark taken. There from Payne. It was just socket further forward. What have they got him in the Hawks? Falling down was Fabian. Calls for a free kick, not on it. Crawford will head towards half-forward. It's a chiselling sort of a ball. And Beams, about 75 metres out, will send it towards the forward 50. And that is all class from Clay Beams. And Jack Austin, he can kick his second for this final term and put a nail in the coffin. As looks like there's a bit of push and shove on the wing position.
Yeah, just need to keep their heads here, Sandgate. If another goal gets away, could seem insurmountable, but just going to stay composed.
So Austin to extend it to 28 points. Wheels around onto the left. He'll set it on its way. He didn't get all of it. Towards the square. No mark taken from Lonigan. Getting it away on the hand pass is Patchen. Gets caught in the tackle. Still got a hand pass though. Looks like both teams will just be content for the umpire to call the stoppage. Right in front of the point post, and the Magpies attacking 50. Magpies can get up here. They do head into a bye 2 and 3. It is manageable. Sounds a lot better than 1 and 4 as Lukey Mitchell sends it out on the full.
Yeah, as you said, it's a lot better than 1 and 4. As for Sandgate, it's been a disjointed start to the season. 2 byes and 2 losses, so it's been tough to string together good passages of footy, but a loss this afternoon will probably be a disappointment for the Hawks. They started so well, so very well. They're young speedsters. Bradford was dominant, had a bit of a quiet third term as the ball goes down his direction, and now it's going to stay in, and that's just over the line. I look down the bench. Tracy Barber was big in this afternoon. He seems all right from that knock he took earlier. He said it's very physical out there from the Magpies, but they're going to need his speed later on in the game. Got to do something now. Bradford just out position there. Beams experience versus the youth there of Hogan. And Hogan, I think he won out there. Maynard round on the right foot. Wobbly kick. Let this bounce down to the half volley. Now is it cleaned up in time there by Green? Maybe it's not. No, but he got it just away in time there to Saunders, who was pushed after he kicked. But I'll tell you what, doesn't really matter. There's a bit of a snafu is breaking out down in front of us. Riley Starray, keep an eye on that. As Bradford's got the footy, puts it in short, finds his man in Harding. Harding kicks it out in front, bit of a dangerous ball to a one-on-one. Maynard goes down, ball goes over the line. Riley, what did you see happen just there in that contest?
Well, to be honest with you, I think Maynard sort of waiting for the ball to bounce up so he can run onto it, but he didn't get there in time. There'll be another stoppage as trying to hit it down was Bradford. He didn't quite. Janky Kane, as always, in and under a pack. McKenzie, he's been lively this afternoon for Sandgate. Got a hand pass out. Now falls to Larkin, who just punts it away towards half forward. Big contest coming up. Couldn't get onto it. There was patching, but well done from Taglieri. Hagan, well, he's held. He could have been held. And he's then been pushed over. Was Hagan. And he wanted the free kick. He didn't get it. But a stoppage in the forward 50 isn't the worst result here for Sandgaters. Going up in the ruck, it falls to the bottom. Hagan goes at it, snaps it off the right, but it just playing the goalkeeper role there incredibly well.
Harry Marshall.
It was Marshall. And very decisive, and he'll send it towards half-back. Big 1-on-2 contest. No mark taken, falls to the bottom. Magpies have the numbers at the bottom of the pack. Hawks do well. Just scramble and force another stoppage. They need a goal pretty quickly here because time's going to start becoming a factor. We've played just towards, just over 8 minutes into this final term as things start to become a little bit unruly.
Yeah, clever there by the umpires. Just balls it up, keeps it going. They've got to stay focused here. Hands over the top. This could be an opportunity here for the Hawks. Hagan again. Hagan on the right foot. There's a whistle behind play though. And, well, the Magpies players applaud. It's going the way, and just undisciplined there by Sandgate. There was an opportunity. Chose to stay with the fight, and, well, no score whatsoever. It's a Maggie's ball right there on the halfback flank. It's courtesy of Dennis. Chip short, doesn't find his target. They're doing everything to keep the Hawks in this game. Move it along down the line. Crawley's got to be big here through to the back of the hands. Loki charging through the pack. Helicopter punt down the line. Casson Harris just flew. And he flew a little bit too early there. So it's now in the hands of Civis. The right footer finds a man in a lot of space. And they've managed to just slow down the pace of the game here. The Magpies. Fletcher pushes it out to the wing. Finds Beams, who's really coming to it in this second half. Oh, it just seems to be a little bit too easy here for the Magpies in their ball movement. Got a bit unsettled by that last snafu there, did the Hawks. Kicks to a 1-on-1. Great body position there by Austin. Just couldn't get his hands. And they rebound now, the Hawks. Hands through the traffic now. This is better from them. This is what we saw in the first half. Spill there. Got to be clean again. Maybe a hand over the shoulder. Not called. Play on. Wrapped up in the footy. Taglieri. He's now got his hands on the ball. Let's see what he can do with it. Punches down to Patching. But Harry Marshall. Oh, you'd holler for a Marshall right about now. That was fantastic. You saw him as the goalkeeper a few minutes ago, and that's the pressure that this defender, the former UQ product, can bring. Now, what a big play there by the Magpies.
Of course, you yourself a UQ product. Nick Davis.
Yeah, played a bit with Harry Marshall, a rock in defence as a young man. He'll only get better with age.
Lonigan kicks it away towards half forward. Reed's pushed in the back. And it's a free kick.
Might just be falling apart now.
They've really just got to compose themselves pretty quickly here, the Hawks. We've ticked over 10.5 minutes into the final term. Drew Mitchell to Civic. Now, what's he got ahead of him? So crowded 50, he goes back to Drew Mitchell. He's just content to hold, and he finds a target in Luke Mitchell, who he looked like he played on.
I was all right with it.
So Mitchell will send it long to the square. It goes over the back. Well, they've done it Peter Wright from a couple of weeks ago. One behind to the Magpies, 23 points the margin as Batchelor takes the mark from the kick-in.
Oh, let him die. What are you doing? All right, well, Batchelor rolls around the right foot. Well, this is probably their last chance to really string some momentum together now. What can they produce, the Hawks? Taglieri in space is always a dangerous thing, but it's just over the line, in fact, and well, he could have been away, Taglieri, but no such thing. Highlands has the footy. And you just think that every time the Hawks get a bit of a run on, they turn it over, and it's hurting them. It's hurting them badly. Down the line, Loki Harris, a spoil, manages to bring it down in front of the Sandgate faithful up there on the hill. And we're going to have a throw in about 70 metres out from the Maggies' goal. 6 goals to 38 Sandgate. They trail the Western Magpies 8-13-61. 12 minutes gone, final term at Riley Starro.
Bradford spikes it away towards the wing position. All numbers, though, favour the Magpies. Edwards hand pass to Highlands. And we'll send it towards half forward. Reed, well, virtually on his own. And he can swing around. He'll go towards Goodall, who got good position. But there's no free kick from the umpire. Some calls of dissatisfaction from the Magpies bench. Back at the game. Getting it out now is Drew Mitchell. To Lonigan, will send it towards the square. Going out hard is Dwyer. Getting there first is Crawley. Hand pass inside to his fellow redhead in Haynes. There's a free kick and it's advantage going the way of the Hawks. Haynes goes towards the middle of the ground. He'll find Harding at half back. Now there's not too much presenting.
No, not seeing that, are we?
Patching for the Hawks. He doesn't go there. Instead, he heads towards the wing, and that's a good mark. That is a sensational mark there on the wing position. And it'll come forward now for the Hawks. Towards half forward. They need another one. Fabian the flyer. Couldn't quite take it. Cash and Harris thereabouts. Hand pass to Barber, who's dispossessed straight away. It's a free kick. It's going the way of Sandgate, and it is going to Barber. Now, they've got to get a wriggle on. They've got to spare defensively here, the Magpies in Crawford. So they have to go further wide to Taglieri. Hogan screaming forward as he heads towards the square. Now it's going to carry over the back. Batchelor couldn't take it. In the field of play, they have to goal. Batchelor's tackled and it's holding the ball, and Crawford will run as they pay advantage.
Oh, disaster there for the Hawks. Stripped at last minute, but that's top quality defence. They can rally again now, Sandgate. Pops it up into the path. Can't quite get his hands to it in time. The Magpies swarm from everywhere. Got to be smart with their ball movement now. Hands over the top. Caught. Can he get it to Maynard? Well, he keeps in the field of play. But you feel like they may have just played their last card, the Hawks. Needed that goal down there. Sensational diving tackle. The last line of defence. That's a team that wants to win. That's a team that will do anything to get the result going their way. And the Hawks, well, they've just got to be smart here. They've really got to try and find an option. Ball spills through Beams. He's been huge in this term. Hands over the top. Austin, he was good. But that was better play there. Nicely done there by, that was Hogan. Sliding mark, ball over the back. Taglieri, he's got wheels. Just kicks it out in front of himself. They've called for deliberate. Well, he knew what he was doing, but I don't think anyone there... Oh! I'm mistaken. I'm mistaken. Well... Taglieri's been called for deliberate out of bounds. I thought he was just trying to kick it to his own advantage. Really kicked it behind him. Well, anyway, back to the play now. It's Harry Marshall. Harry Marshall has calls of deliberate ring out from the Sandgate bench now. Harry Marshall just trying to find a target, skews it wide off the boot. We're going to have a throw in 50 metres out from the Sandgate goal.
15 minutes gone in this final term. Sandgate need to get a wriggle on here. There's still time, but it's really starting to become a factor, you feel. He's back in the field of play. Bradford wins it down straight to Crawford. He'll send it long. Trying to find Highlands. Couldn't take the mark. Forced the contest. Crawley been resolute all afternoon. Bloss off the left boot. And that's a good kick. And Maynard, he dropped one he really should have taken. Going in hard, Austin, the two number ones. Crawford gets a hand pass away, finds Reed. They're really just on top here at the moment, the Magpies, and you just feel they've almost got this one in the bag. Janky Kane finds Dwyer, 80 metres out from goal. There is an option all on his own in the 50, which was Mitchell. Couldn't get it there. It went through Beams' hands. Harding goes short. We'll find a teammate there in Larkins. We'll send it towards half forward. Batchelor, 75 metres out. They need to move it quickly. There's an option presenting in Fabian. That's where he goes. It's a good kick. He needs to wheel around onto his right boot. And he'll send it to McKenzie, the first gamer, who's taken a 50 out.
Well, McKenzie wanted to try and get that footy going again. Definitely too far out to score for the young man. As Patching's trying to present. I'll tell you what, that piece of play for the Magpies, it started there with Crawford. McKenzie, on the right foot, he just gets under it, just gives it everything he's got. Flies to the top of the pack, spilled down. They can get a snap away here, the Hawks, touched off the boot. And, well, it touched over the line. It was Batchelor, tried to get that one away. As we said, maybe one more chance to stay in this game here, the Hawks. Nearly 17 minutes gone, final term. Traditionally 30-minute quarters, so there is time if they can get a roll on, but they need to get it going. Umpire throws it back in a little bit short, and in fact, they're probably going to call it back currently. Sandgate 6 goals, 2-38. Western Magpies 8-13-61. They're just going to need some space. We're looking at Hagan. Maybe can someone try and find a bit of wheels. Needed to get it away. Maynard left foot ball. Well, they'll take it. That's one. Sandgate 7-44. They still trail the Magpies 8-13-61, but Maynard has been big this afternoon, just in the right place at the right time. Lovely left foot snap. And the margin, it's not insurmountable. 17 points here at Lemke Road. 17.5 minutes gone. Final term at Riley Starray.
Well, this is the one area where we know the Hawks can try and dominate. Which is coming up is this centre clearance. They do have the dominant ruckman out there. The Magpies do have a very good midfield unit, but we saw in the early stages of this final term, they did get a couple of centre clearances away. See if they can get one here. They desperately need it. There's still time and there's still a chance. And there's still hope. Dwyer wins the tap down. Bodied off it there was Beams. It's just sitting at the bottom of the pack. The umpire says, give it to me. We tick over 18 minutes into this final term. It's been an enthralling contest. Not the cleanest at times, but certainly willing. Gareth Crawford was caught. He got the handball away. Fletcher forward. Haynes tries to spoil. Going in hard there was Fry. Who's tackled by Highlands. And we'll have a stoppage. You get the feeling this might not be a 30-minute quarter. Not too many goals have been scored, only the 3. And that'll suit the Magpies just fine. Fletcher gets the hands away. It comes off from Dwyer. Luke Mitchell couldn't get it. Getting it now is Barber. Will send it down the corridor. McKenzie couldn't take the mark. He's got to halve the contest. Beans gets it off the hand pass from Sivic. and he'll send it wide, and he's got Dennis about 75 metres out from goal, and the Magpies will just slow it down a tad.
It's amazing the way Beams can just slow the contest down and get it back onto their terms. Showing all his AFL and NEFL experience there. 54 games for the Lions, 47 in the NEFL. And he's just doing what he can. Setting up his players, the general, moving them around. Crawford's been big. Crawford's been really big. And this might just shut the gate. It does. It's over. The Magpies, 9 goals, 13-67. Sandgate, 7-2, 44. Well, I realise that it's only 19 and a half minutes gone in this final term, but that was a pressure act, and Drew Mitchell, he finished with authority there. Big point out to the crowd, parked up there on the hill. But they needed that.
They certainly did.
Set up so well around that contest.
They certainly have. And 2 goals this quarter for Sandgate, but on 2 occasions the Maggies have got a pretty quick reply. And it just looks like they might just be a little bit too good in the end. And really, almost to resurrect their season here, West, because if they went down this afternoon, I mean, there's still time, it can still happen. It'd be disastrous as they head into a pretty tough part of their draw. Beams has been huge in this second half. Trying to get a Batchelor, hands it away, finds a teammate there in Harding, will send it long. Oh, that's a good mark to O'Halloran. That is probably the mark of the day. They're not going to die wandering here, Sandgate, and they need to get a move on. As we're taking the time on, O'Halloran will send it wide, and you'll find Larkins, but I don't really know what that will benefit.
I don't think that was put him in a better spot, but regardless, Larkins, hands on the footy, Beam stands the mark. We need to keep this going, as he said. 21 minutes gone, final term. Just drives it towards the line, flies. Can the big man Bradford grab it on the 4th bounce? No. Boot off the ground, they've got it. They're not dead. Well, it was Bradford perched underneath there. Just kept that footy alive, didn't let it go through the pack, brought it to the ground, and opportunistic enough. Sandgate now have replied.
Well, we've played 21 and a half in this final term. 17 points the difference, it is doable. There's no doubt about that. Of course, we have seen already this year in the Quaffle one great comeback from Broadbeach when they beat Mount Gravatt right at the end. Down at Subaru Oval. What can the Hawks do from here? Back in the middle. Dwyer wins the decisive tap to Fletcher towards half forward. And it goes to Luke Mitchell. He's about 55 metres out. One more you think will certainly do it. It's sent long towards the 50. Numbers converge. Crawford, it'd be fitting if he kicked it. But he hasn't, but it's a handy point. It's 3 straight goals now. The Hawks have got to kick 4 to win with what you'd imagine of actual game time, about 5 or 6 minutes left.
Yeah, deserved a goal there, Crawford. He's been massive this afternoon. What can they do, the Hawks? Can they capitalise? Well, Crawford, that man again, hands over the top. Casson Harris is bearing down, but just dances through him there, does Harding. Ball spilled. I was going to say a big spoil there by Crawley. He's been fantastic in defence this afternoon. 8 goals, 250. Sandgate plays 9-14-68. The Magpies. As we said, maybe 4 to 5 minutes of actual game time left. As well, a spectator having to, I assume, fish a ball out of a puddle there for the umpire. Just giving everyone time to breathe. The Magpies, they can really finish it here. What can the Hawks do? They have to be good, and they are. Right foot out of the pack, parked underneath, it's Hagan. What can he do? Turns his man, Fabian, the best facial hair in the business. Keeps the pressure on, scrags his man to the ground. No free kick called, it was a decent tackle, wrapped up again. Magpies everywhere, that footy is camped underneath there. The umpire wants to, I thought he wanted to call home the ball, but he says, give it to me. 23 and a half minutes gone, final term, 18-point ball game, centre wing.
It'll be Bradford, who wins the tap over Highlands, falls to the side of the pack. Drew Mitchell fed it out. Fletcher, well, he's paid the mark, and he's played on, but the umpire has called it back. Fletcher will dance around, he'll send it towards Lonergan. who's about 85 metres out from goal. 24 minutes pretty much has gone in the final term. Lonergan will send it inside. You'll find Drew Mitchell, and they are completely fine just to steady. That's a brilliant kick. That is one of the kicks of the day. And it's going to fall on Dennis. Any score here, you think, is probably going to win it.
Yeah, just very composed. What we saw there by Drew Mitchell. Head down, sharp pass, and Fatigue's kicked in. It's a heavy field, wet field. But hit a pass like that, that's essentially just giving him the assist. So now what can you do? Dennis, to finish it off. Oh, Dennis! It's a 24-point ball game now. It essentially shuts the door for what has been a valiant, but albeit it's not quite enough attempt from Sandgate. It's a 24-point game. Sandgate 8 goals to 50. It's probably just been a bit too much there for Sandgate. They've been good this afternoon, but experience has won out here from the Magpies, and started with Drew Mitchell just setting that play up. As we said, 24-point game. The Magpies 10-14, 74. Sandgate 8-50. Well, the Magpies look like they're going to a bye pretty happy in Sandgate. Well, there's hope. There's definitely hope in this season. With efforts like that, it's what you really want to see. Ball in the hands of Aaron Highlands. They just keep that footy going forward. Maynard, he's been great. Pushes it forward now. Harding picks up his own footy. Kicks it out in front, and well, they won't say die, Sandgate. They will not say die at all when it finds Fabian on that booming chest of his, and he looks like he's going to kick from, well, it'll probably be right on 48 metres there. As we said, 24-point game, 26 minutes gone, final term, round 5 at Quaffle action, community umpire round. We say a big thank you to the men and women in green who make this spectacular game what it is. And we have seen a spectacular game this afternoon. Two teams really fighting to show their worth. So Fabian, he comes in, needs this one, hits it with the right, it's swinging, it's good, it's back to an 18-point game. Sandgate 9-2 at 56, Trailer Magpies 10-14, 74. Riley Starray can't be too long left in this game though.
No, 26 and a half gone. They've got to kick 4 goals here to win it. You wouldn't think it's possible. And I think, another valiant effort here from Sandgate, but I think this one is really one they think they've let slip. They had a 4-goal lead to start the game. And against Wilston Grange, they got the first 2 as well. They've probably identified those second and third quarters. That's where they're really getting caught out. And to be honest, they potentially could have had 1, maybe even 2 wins in season 2019 so far. Instead, unless something that's just short of a miracle happens, we're going to go 0-3 once again, as out of the middle. To the bottom of the pack, we'll have a stoppage just forward to centre. And it'll be a ball up as it starts to get a little bit dark again around Lemke Road. Bradford, been valiant all afternoon, wins the tap. Hand passed out from Harding, trying to come through his court, but he ran over it before he got it. Going in hard, Mitchell, now coming out of it, Barber. Tries to get it away. Now just booted out from Larkins, and it's going to be a foot race towards the wing. Macaulay Lonergan will tap it on intelligently. It'll give Saunders a chance. Well done from McKenzie. I've liked what I've seen from him this afternoon in his first game. It's punched further on. Batchelor, if they can get one here, they're a chance. McKenzie, 55 metres out, will send it to the square. That's a good mark. Now, it is a good mark, and they know how long in terms of time, and it's not much. They're going to really have to hurry up. But that's one thing they do have, as O'Halloran kicks a goal. There's 2 goals in it, 28 gone, final term. Next centre clearance is huge, Nick Davis.
Oh, absolutely, and I feel a little bit guilty about calling the game earlier. Might come back to bite me, but that was just footy smarts we saw on the wing there by the young brigade of Sandgate players. The punch forward, great composure there by McKenzie to keep his head down. He had Mitchell bearing down on him, but put his man a bit of space. O'Halloran, he knew he didn't have time, so well done by the young man too. Could have been flustered by that. Well, again, it's going to take 3 kicks for Sandgate to take the lead, but, well, stranger things have happened in this great game of ours.
Nearly 29 minutes gone, final term. What can the experience of the Magpies do as we head towards this contest?
So back in the middle, massive centre clearance coming up. Bradford tried to win it down, couldn't quite. Crawford been valiant all afternoon. Bradford punts it forward. Big contest coming up at half forward. Patching couldn't take it. Mackenzie's tackle, he's been thrown into the middle. And it'll be a stoppage. And that will suit the Maggies just fine. The Hawks, they have got to throw everything forward. Getting it out of there for the Hawks was Bradford. It falls to the Magpies, but Crawley's going to mark. All I thought he was, but he spun it before he got it. Hand pass back, sent towards half forward. It's gone over the head there of Harding. Well done from Austin. A little bit more experience than his opponent. Lonergan has an option down the line. He'll send it towards the contest. Beams, his experience, bodies out his opponent. Reid keeps it in the field of play. Goodall will run onto this. He can get it. He will tap it to himself. He is trapped by the red mullet in Haynes. And it's holding the football. But this suits the Magpies just fine. They need to get it down the other end of the field here, the Hawks.
Got to get going now onto the boot. Had Maynard free on the far wing. Just got to roll and go here. They've got some space. Oh, it's going to be turned over. The big double fist just punts it back towards the forward line. Out in space, Casey Barber. How much legs has he got at the moment? Oh, he's been wrapped up around the contest. They come in brigades of numbers. They're off and away here now, the Hawks. Harding, long down the line. Got to find a target. Got to be big here. Punched over the line. That's experience there by the Magpies. 30 and a half minutes gone. Final term at 12 points in it. And just to add a little bit more time here, we're going to have a stoppage right there in front of the Lemke Road Social Club, the Sandgate Hawks. Well, what can they do? He's been massive all afternoon, the big man, Bradford. Got to get a clean head out. Got to get to advantage. There's unmarked numbers around the contest to the right of the screen. Doesn't work out. Magpies ball, pushing it long down in Crawley's direction. Crawley's got to be big. Oh! I'll tell you what, a match-saving mark by Sivers. He gets onto the right foot. Possibly touch right at the bootstraps. That makes it difficult. The Magpies swarm in numbers. Gets it out again. Siren! There's your siren. Maybe just a little bit too late there by the Hawks. But I'll tell you what, that final quarter had absolutely everything. It's the Magpies this afternoon. The Western Magpies, they get their second win for the season. And they go into the bye at 2-3. The Western Magpies 10-14-74, plays 10-2-62. Riley Starray, you said it was going to be death by 1,000 behinds. And I'll tell you what, that's actually worked out pretty well for the Western Magpies.
It certainly has.